Welcome to Hell's Kitchen for an Atlantic Division tilt, first place in the division, a top 3 seed on the line here in New York City, blocks away from the NBA draft. I am Marshall, or Marsh, I'm not Marshall. Joined by Bob.
I didn't see you wearing that suit today. I didn't know this was a special occasion.
Every now and again, Bob, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, Marsh. It's going to be a great night, I can tell. How are you doing?
Should have called you Robert and just rolled with it.
Yeah, there you go. It's Marshall and Robert tonight, folks.
I am doing great because we have a massive game between Beasts of the East, who currently have the lead in the Atlantic Division, and Gotham 5, separated by half a game. A win here from Gotham 5, and they would take a temporary first place positioning in the Legacy Conference. 2 games up are Beasts of the East in the win column, but a couple extra games to be played for Gotham 5. What's going to be the key here? Let's start with the home team. Gotham 5, they've been red hot. 6 straight wins, one of 3 teams to have been winners of their last 6 games. Mackenzie Mbako's been red hot as of late. Aaron Lovejoy's been dominant. What are you looking for tonight?
I'm looking for Mbako to really just continue what he's been doing. He's been the complete opposite of what he was to start the season. I think Gotham 5 could probably have a little bit of they don't have a bad record, they're 14-7, but I think they could have an even better record had he been playing this way when Coach Bilardi was there. But I'm looking for Mbako, and I'm looking for probably a little bit more from Majer. I think Majer really has to be the reason that they come out on top tonight.
Majer has scored in double figures in his last 3 games, as we are still without a bucket here. And let's go to the other side, Beasts of the East. Fareed Redmond, Levin Cutler, they're 2 stars. What are you looking for out of not necessarily them or potentially them and anybody else tonight?
I mean, I think the number one thing is always Cutler has to be on his game. Redmond, we can't trust him. At least at this point in the year, I think it's safe to say that we can't trust Fareed Redmond. Starts a little bit hot, goes really, really cold, and then just really hadn't shown up for most of the season as a consistent player, in my opinion. I know he's averaging 14.6, but I guess I'll use one of Rick's quotes, and those are empty calorie points, I would say. It feels like, at least to me. But I think Eric Musk really needs to. He's coming off the bench tonight, but I think he really needs to be on his game when it comes to facilitating whenever he's out there in order for them to really pull this out.
Levin Cutler, I believe, just made the first 3-pointer of his season. As we get an early timeout from Gotham 5, we'll step aside. Beasts of the East up early, an Atlantic Division crown, or not crown, but at least lead on the line today in New York City. We are back, 5 Boroughs Park, Hell's Kitchen, Beasts of the East, Gotham 5, a massive game. Atlantic Division rivals squaring off for a temporary lead in the Atlantic Division and 3rd place in the conference. Early start for Beasts of the East, 5-0 lead, including, as we said at the way out, believe it was the first 3-pointer. Correct me if I'm wrong if that was not Levin Cutler, but Levin Cutler made his first 3-pointer of the season on the last time down. But again, could have been for Reed Redmond. They just have terrible eyesight.
Well, if it was our boy Cutler, I mean, I hope maybe he's adding a couple tricks to his bag, because I mean, you don't really expect that from him, obviously. I mean, he doesn't shoot threes, so.
Rebound here, JoJo Kearney. No, what am I talking about? See, the eyes are really bad. For Reed Redmond. I tell you. Misses that one is Redmond, though, and you mentioned Redmond. Hot and cold. He can certainly get going as three-pointer there for Gotham. 5 won't fall. Free Redmond, though, has scored at least 11 points in his last 5 games. Ooh. But not necessarily of the efficient variety. 6 of 21 against Middle East, for example. He's only scored or shot 50% or better in 2 of the last 5 games.
I mean, I think the most important thing right now, though, is what is going on with Gotham 5? They are completely ice cold.
Here's Mbako, can't get that to go, and we are now closing in, likely be close to 4 minutes without a bucket from Gotham 5 as that rims out for Cuddy.
It's hugs and kisses. Cuddy hugs and kisses.
Cuddy hugs and kisses, can't get it to go. Driving into the paint, another miss. And Gotham 5 remains scoreless. A team that has been efficient over their last 6 games, 6-game winning streak. They've looked like a different team than the one that you had mentioned. Coach Velarde was the head coach of prior to his firing. That was after the 4-game losing streak. Since then, they've looked like a different basketball team, though not tonight.
Yeah, and maybe the kids maybe they just need a little bit of being able to run around and do their own thing, because I'm sure the coach isn't doing too much coaching with them. I mean, they have a lot of talent. Let the ball. Ooh, fancy little pass there. But maybe Gotham 5's coach is just kind of letting them play pick-up basketball, I guess, and work it out for them.
Well, on a big night, you would hope that pick-up basketball wouldn't be the approach against the division leader and a chance to take the lead. 9-0, Beasts of the East on top, and a big night of New York City basketball tonight, but we're going to step aside. Coming back for the first quarter, Hell's Kitchen after this.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
We're back here in New York City. Beasts of the East have held Gotham 5 scoreless for the first 4.5 minutes. Get close to a 5-second inbound there. Up, and that one's snatched away or knocked away by Levin Cutler, so the drought continues. Gotham 5. Beasts of the East defense has continued to play elite lock defense in this first quarter, though tipped away. Transition opportunity for Gotham 5. And we finally have a bucket. Keontae Dior. First bucket of the game for Gotham 5 comes just ahead of the 5-minute mark in the quarter. So, no shutout here in New York, but Gotham 5 still has some work to do on the offensive end.
Yeah, and Mbako's really going to need to pick it up. I mean, he's missed at least 2 threes at this point. Both of them were wide open. He needs to figure something out. Maybe we've jinxed him a little bit, giving him some praise from his early season escapades.
Well, he's had a really difficult season. He came in right as the number two overall ranked prospect. And right out of the gate, just disappointed is the correct statement, but it was coming from lofty expectation. He just didn't live up to those at that point in time. Since then, he's had really great stretches, but it seems like tonight has just been the regression that you hoped was well in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, and unlike some of the other top guys from the beginning of the season, like Wagner and Bronny James, I mean, when they have a bad night, their bad night is still probably better than the 95% of the rest of the league. Mbako's bad night is probably the worst that you can have in a Simrose Hoops game.
Kyan Anthony gets his first bucket to go. Anthony's 10.7 points per game on the year, primarily a bench scorer for this Gotham 5 unit. But yeah, your point is certainly well taken and certainly correct, as they just have as the mid-range falls, when Mbako struggles, it's a large volume struggle, or you kind of forget he's on court at times. And you never will forget that Bronny James, DJ Wagner, Lace Darius Outlaw, and Trey Turner, I would say that's a reasonable top 4. You know, I'll hear the case for Tyson Simpson to make it a top 5. You know they're out there. There are games where you wonder, I didn't know who was on court. Levin Cutler rises for 2. So to that point though, is that a fact of Gotham 5 having a lot of options on this roster, or do you think it's more of a Mackenzie Mbako just doesn't take the assertion the way that those other 5 do?
I will take a look at Gotham 5 and compare them to the formerly known as New York Stars of the Ground Zero season. And whenever they were the New York Stars, they were a loaded team. They had a lot of talent. And any given night, somebody would stick out. But it was almost always, but King, despite all the talent, somebody would stick out. But Che King was always like the guy that really, really stood out in a big 3 there, up 14. I think that I can't blame it as there being an overload of talent, because I don't think he's done enough to show. He hasn't shown the drive to want to be the Che King of Gotham 5, and I think that's what some of these young kids should inspire. I was going to say expire. I don't want any of them to expire. What they should inspire to be, especially if you're playing for Gotham.
Well, there hasn't been much inspiration here at all from Gotham 5 anywhere on the floor. As Kasim Porter rises, can't get it to go. Levin Cutler, the board, the kick out, the 3 also won't fall. 18-4. Beast of the East has erupted on the scene here to start this game, rising to the rack and powering home. Gotham 5, they get 1 to go, but just their 3rd bucket of the quarter. 18-6, and another turnover, chance to try to cut into this and get some momentum. Down 10 would certainly be a positive. They're going to jack up a deep 3, won't fall. That's going to do it. First 8 in the books, 18-6. Beasts of the East out front quickly. Big Atlantic Division tilt. First place on the line in New York City. Back in New York City, Hell's Kitchen, 5 Boroughs Park, Gotham 5 up by 12 early on. I invite you to stay tuned for our SimWorld TV triple header, Beyond the Arch, ATLiens, our second game out of St. Louis, Missouri, and Bay Area Breakers and the Originators. An exciting finale to the day. Bay Area 16-6, Originators 17-5. 5-game winning streak on the line for the Originators, and a massive tilt to potential championship race to 1 preview, Bob.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're the top 2 teams arguably the top 2 teams in all of SimWorld hoops. Obviously, they have the 2 highest win percentages, I believe. Next to Southeast Select is just below them, I think.
Other way around. Southeast Select just had a Bay Area.
Okay. So what could happen is, I mean, we might have a 3-way tie tonight. If the Bay Area Breakers were to win, I think that we would have a percentage would be all 3 of them. And I guess would we say, I would assume Bay Area or Southeast Select would take the windbreaker or the tiebreaker, just because if Bay Area wins, they're ahead of the Originators. I don't know how the tiebreaker would work with Southeast Select, but yeah, I mean, that's a great game to cap off our night and our week, since we are off for the rest of the week until I believe next Tuesday.
We are indeed. We'll be back on Tuesday. Run DMV and Atlantis, H-Town Hoopers, and the now tumbling Lone Star, and then Showtime and Beyond the Arc. So a plethora of great games. It's not as if we never have them, but now that the season is really winding down, we're getting a lot of division leaders. In this case here in New York, we're getting some conference leaders and teams that are trying to make their way up the standings. So it is an exciting time as the race to 1 begins to loom. Here in New York, though, 20-8, Beasts of the East shot just a pretty mediocre, nothing extraordinary, 50%, Bob, in that first quarter. But Gotham 5, 20%, 6 points. They've continued to struggle here. I've always said, and I'm not the only one to say this, so I'm not taking full credit, this is a pretty obvious one, if there's an outlier of a number, you can expect that to regress to the mean. But in this case, it feels as if, with Beasts of the East only shooting 50%, there has to be some concern. We'll stick through this timeout. Do you believe that to be true in this game specifically? Does the fact that, Gotham 5 is only shooting 20% in that first quarter, Beasts of the East at 50%, what number stands out to you more, and what do you expect to see as this rolls on?
I think for me personally, generally I would agree, but I think for me, it's that 20% for Gotham 5. I think that Beasts of the East are going to, 50%, they'll easily, I say easily, but I think they'll really be able to recover from that. I mean, they're getting a lot of the tough points too. We just seen Levin Cutler miss a shot, get his own rebound, and finish. So I think that the Beasts of the East right now I think they're set. If they continue where they're at right now, we're good to go. If Gotham 5 does not at least, I don't know, get up to at least 35%, I don't know. There's no chance for a team shooting 20%. It's probably lower now. I would be willing to bet it's lower now. But I don't know if Gotham's going to be able to do anything to really turn this around. I mean, we've seen crazier things. It's only a 14-point game. Would we say that? I think I'm not great with math.
Yep,
but I think that 20% just that really sticks out to me when you have so much offensive talent on your team. 20% is just unacceptable.
And the reason I ask is because the 50% seems sustainable. That's the more sustainable number between the two teams. The three-pointer won't fall, offensive struggles continue. Beasts of the East, it's not as if Gotham 5 has been missing wide-open shots. They have been struggling to hit very contested shots because of Beasts of the East defense on Gotham 5. It's a rim run and a kick. Isaiah James, another time, he has driven to the paint, had a wide-open layup, and instead decides to kick it. Three-pointer there from Leonidas Wright won't fall.
Really think the kids would have learned from Ben Simmons in the playoffs a couple years ago.
It's always a question mark. There's turnover here. Gotham 5 trying to get going in transition. Pull up. 3 falls. Final. Sire Matthews, who has struggled this season. Sire Matthews, Bob, we did the preseason pick 6. I had Sire Matthews as my sixth man. He has really struggled this season. 36% from the floor, 16% from deep. That's just his sixth made three-pointer on the season.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it was not a bad pick at all. It's hard for me to argue with him being arguably the sixth best player. If we were going to do our top five and a sixth man again, it's hard to argue at the beginning of the season that he wasn't going to be that guy. He played so well prior to joining Gotham 5, and then maybe this is where we can say there's too much talent on the team for him to really shine. Like maybe with him, we can say that. But yeah, I still don't think that. I would still say that it was a good pick preseason, but obviously it's looking a little not great right now. But I still think he can turn it around.
Well, and speaking of him, turnover, and he draws the foul on Buskey. And don't look now, 8-point game, Gotham 5, you said it. You expected that number to rise. Their defense is locked in, and a chance here from Matthews to get point 4 and 5 on the night and pull within 6 here in the second quarter. We had the 3 a couple possessions ago as well from Mackenzie Mbako. He's starting to light up. But no Levin Cutler, I don't believe, on the floor currently. I could be wrong.
He's one of those guys, in my opinion. There's one player on every team that should probably never leave the court.
Yep.
And he is definitely that guy for Beast of the East. When he comes off the court, good things are going to happen for the other team typically.
The size disadvantage is certainly there, but he was dominant in that opening quarter. He is not on the floor. He's averaging 14.5 points, 8 rebounds per game. He's certainly risen to create a legitimate conversation for is he the best big in SimWorld Hoops. Head coach Drayton would certainly make the argument he is as the midi falls there, pushes the lead back up to 8. But as you mentioned, there's somebody on every team has a rise and fire alley-oop from Mackenzie Mbako. I believe was that Aaron Movin Williams on the receiving end of that one. 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. Gotham 5 rallying back, or at least trying to. Big game in New York City. Chance for the top spot in the Atlantic Division on the line. And as a result of that, third place in the conference. Buskey, late shot clock, won't fall. Rebound, heads the opposite way. Beast of the East, their offensive struggles now continuing to plague them.
Yeah, and I mean, we are 5.5 minutes into this game, or into the second quarter, and the Beasts of the East have scored, I believe, just 2 points so far.
Yes, because it was 22-8 at the end of the first. And that drought is going to continue. Another missed shot rather. Here's Lovejoy. Up top is Dior Bates. He wants a 3. He gets the 3, 24-21, just like that. Gotham 5, 2 minutes left in the second. They've rallied back.
Run it through him, coach. Run it through Bates.
The bench here for Gotham 5. And now the steal, Syer Matthews. He's been hot in the quarter. Going up against Buskey, draws the foul. Can't get the shot to go. But Syer Matthews, he had the 3 to get this run going. Now he's drawn a second foul on Buskey. Both of them coming on a scoop and score opportunity here for Matthews.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a complete turnaround in the second quarter here for Gotham 5, and I think that might be an understatement. They've probably, they quadrupled the scoring total, or quadrupled their scoring output from what the East of the East have given up in the second quarter here. My statement does not make any sense. We're going to move along. But the 24-22, I really was not expecting this at all for the Beast of the East to just completely choke in the second quarter. I'm sure Coach Drayton's going to do something to fix this, but I don't know. Oh man, it's a lot deflating for a team to have a 22-8 you said?
Yep.
22-8 lead, and almost the second quarter is almost over, and you scored 2 points.
So I think now I have to correct myself. As a 3-pointer won't fall. Lovejoy though, and that is the lead for Gotham 5. just like that. They were down 22-8. I believe the score at the end of the first was 18-6. So they've scored 6 points, but all that is matching the output that Gotham 5 had in the first quarter. So that's erasing the big lead they had. They did lead by as many as 14. Driving to the rack, that won't fall. Rebound, kicked out on top. Marion Goodyear over to Kasim Porter. Porter now driving to the rack. He tries to get it go, won't go. Levin Cutler kicked out, 3-pointer. That won't fall. 4 opportunities for Beasts of the East. None of them will fall. Blocked shot there by Lovejoy on one of those tip-ins. Here is Williams up top, trying to get it inside to Lovejoy. He's got a size advantage, but Mackenzie Mbaka wants the 3 and hits it. Gotham 5 coming alive from deep.
That is not what you want if you're Beasts of the East. I mean, they are sticking with their consistent, I would say about 50%. They're a little bit less than 50% now, but that 50% is not looking as good as Gotham's 20% looked in the first quarter.
Not nearly. Cuddy XO gets it to go. Cuddy hugs and kisses. Here's Mbako holding the last shot. Pull up from the free throw line. Won't fall. 3 seconds. They can push for final shot. They will not get that one off in time, so that will take us to halftime. A dominant first quarter from Beasts of the East, followed by a dominant second quarter from Gotham 5. And in a game that has first place implications in the division and a chance to pull within a game and a half of the Originators in the top spot, it's Gotham 5 and their 6-game winning streak on top as we head to the break. Bob, we're going to the second half. What are you going to look for from both sides?
I'm just going to look to see if the Beast can come out and really get anything started. They're going to have Cutler really turn his play up in the second half. He is the key to the team, and if he's not doing well, the rest of the team isn't going to do well. And for Gotham 5, they just need to keep up their defensive tenacity. That's what really seems to turn them around here in the second quarter.
Dominant second quarter for the defensive Gotham 5. That gives them a 2-point lead. Second half on deck. back in New York, the biggest show in the city today. 28-6, Gotham 5 on top of Beasts of the East. A dominant second quarter from Gotham 5, though both defenses have been on fire. Thanks to a three-pointer there from, two-pointer, toe on the line, 3 Redmond, deep 2, ties us up. Phenomenal second quarter from Sire Matthews. Just as we were saying, he was struggling this season as this one heads out of bounds. Beasts of the East will get the ball, turnover, Gotham 5. 9 points, 3 steals in that first half. Most of that, if not all of it, came in the second quarter.
Yeah, I just sit here and I wonder what kind of team would we have right now if Coach Velarde was still here?
Team that's maybe they lost 8 in a row with Velarde. I mean, come on.
Oh, jeez.
Nah, I kid.
Jeez. Oh, jeez. I don't know. Coach Chusa might agree with you. He was all on Coach Velarde hate train before the season started. Now we'll see if he can turn Latin America around and take it to the race to 1.
Well, I mean, I said this on the podcast. Block. My goodness gracious! A ferocious turn aside, and then Levin Cutler goes to work. JoJo Kearney had the emphatic block on the other end. But to the question, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just
going to say, this is the Levin Cutler that they need. The one that's going to get down there, really fight on the offensive side, and get those easy shots. You've got to get those easy shots to fall, and he missed a lot of easy shots early in this game.
Mbako missing an open 3 there. He's now 2 for 8 on the game. He has really struggled, and Levin Cutler lays that one up and in. Cutler, again, when he's been on the floor, Beasts of the East has just looked better on both sides. And to that point, JoJo Kearney has played 24 games, all 24 of the season. Only 5 players on Beasts of the East have played all 24 games that they've played. Is a triple their answer. But JoJo Kearney leads the team in 1.8 blocks per game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big guy. I mean, him and Cutler, I mean, they're like the Twin Towers out there. I mean, they're both 6'9". When they're not on the court, that's a huge disadvantage for the Beast. They lose all of their humongous size. Because outside of that, I think their next biggest guy is 6'4", maybe? Yes. But I do want to go back. You had mentioned the three-pointer that Gotham 5 had just made. I do want to disappoint everybody, as prior to one of our breaks, or during one of our breaks, we did see that it was not Levin Cutler that hit that 3 earlier. We were excited for it, but it was not meant to be.
My eyes deceived me. The jersey number just couldn't make it out. So I apologize to the emphatic fans hoping for Cutler's first. It would not be on the season. So
hey,
but
regardless of how bad your eyes are, it's still better than the Zebras.
Well, this is not incorrect. Cuddy hugs and kisses at the line. Cuddy the Care Bear shooting free throws. Gets the first to go. Second one on its way.
What do you think his logo would be on his stomach as a Care Bear?
Yeah, what are they, like they're rainbow?
You got rainbows, hearts. It can be whatever you want it to be. Maybe his would be some lips, maybe. Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Maybe some lips. big the kissing emoji. That's what. Not the with the face. The lip.
Just the lip.
Kiss marks. That would be it. Yep, 100%.
Oh, 3-point game. Beast of the East up. This is. It's turning into a.
Oh, he had Anthony to the rack.
Good Lord.
There's a top 10 play nominee. Got them 5:02 to play in the third. They're back within 1 thanks to that highlight play from Anthony. Another one of the big names on this Gotham 5 squad that we haven't heard too much of in terms of a dominance, but Mugen Williams with the turn aside. The Andre Iguodala swipe down block.
You know, both these teams are playing really, really gritty right now. I expect that we're probably not going to see a game that is probably over 60 for either team, so I don't think we're going to get to the magic 69 tonight. But
well, we've got 2 teams that hold opponents to the 2 of the 3 lowest scoring outputs as deep 2 there from Cuddy hugs and kisses. It's a to go. Beast of the East, league leader, opponent points per game, 61.5. Gotham 5, 63.3. That's third. Meanwhile, Beast of the East is third best in opponent field goal percentage, 44.1. Gotham 5, fourth, 44.8. So, not surprising at all that at halftime both teams were under 40. Yes, rising to the rack for the alley-oop. Gotham 5 back within 1.
Which team, right now, I mean, they're both really going at it right now. Which team do you think is going to run out of steam first?
Well, I'm going to say a team, and then Rick's going to get in some chat
my
and call it
goodness.
because it does. That one smokes off the side of the backboard. I know Coach Drayton probably doesn't want me to pick for him because I think he also is a firm believer in the kiss of death. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go out. Let's go Gotham 5. And either way, I'm going to feel good about it since I'm not going to have Coach Drayton getting pissed that I jinxed him.
There you go.
Going to the rack is Aaron Lovejoy for 2. How about yourself?
It goes down to how much talent Gotham 5 has, that if their starting 5 runs out of gas, I'm still confident in their backup 5. So I'm going to go to the opposite. I'm going to probably go against my gut, though. I'm going to pick Beast of the East as the one that'll run out of gas first.
So some kiss of death is going to be claimed upon tonight. That's all we know of that. Ryan Anthony, the hop step. Can't get it to go. Aaron Lovejoy, the follow. He does get it to go. And one thing we've seen a lot of is a very aggressive Cuddy hugs and kisses. As we get a timeout from Beast of the East, or anyone, we've talked about Coach Bilardi, who now is with Latin America. There is a interim position for Gotham 5. If you think you have the chops to fill it, we invite you to apply through our Discord, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. Plenty of applications available, so please apply. Try to be a head coach, a player, or join a member of the media team. You could, if you have aspirations of being the next Mike Breen, or the next, I wouldn't say Jeff Van Gundy, but that's going to be the most popular name. I wouldn't say he's the best of the best. He's got his days. We're always looking for talent, so bring it in, whether that's behind the clipboard, on the court, or behind the mic. Discord.gg/SimWorldNBA to apply.
Yeah, and I will say we always have our Texas team open, so that probably isn't going to end anytime soon. So if you want to coach somewhere down there, I don't know if I would call it nice, but some people might call Texas nice. If you want to coach down there,
I don't understand the appeal of Texas, so I'm not going to vouch for it. I mean, that might be why the positions don't stay open, but
yeah, I mean, if it doesn't snow, I don't want to be there.
If it doesn't snow, you're a fan of the snow.
I am a fan of the snow.
What about the snow entices you?
The temperature. It means it's cold out. I'm fat. I get hot really easy. I need the snow. That's my dream location is Mount Rainier, Washington, and I don't think you can live there, but it generally snows every single day.
You know, I'm not gonna hate on your decision. I'm not a snow guy myself, but I am a big fan of the rain. I have to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Give me a nice rainy day over the shot clock violation that wipes away a Kasim Porter jumper. But give me a nice rainy day any day of the week, and I will be increasingly happy.
Oh yeah. I think I would love to live in Seattle. I think that would be a good spot for me. Kayvon Jackson would be happy for someone to head out there to Seattle.
Well, they do have Japhett Towns running with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's now it's the rain season here in Florida, which means every afternoon at 4 o'clock it is a torrential downpour, and I have to say that 3 won't go late in the shot clock. Gotham 5 3-point advantage.
Does it also mean it's hurricane season? 'Cause that's how it was for me down there.
It sure does. It is hurricane season. There are 2 storms currently out in the tropics. Rising, bringing the storm himself is moving Williams. It is indeed hurricane season in Florida. No jokes. If you're in the state of Florida, now's the time to prepare, folks. Now is the time.
Hunker down, fellas.
Beast of the East, a bit of a scoring drought here since Fareed Redmond took a seat. That's Tim Ricks, can't get it to go. Levin Cully, the offensive board, gets it up and in. Cuts into that 5-point deficit they were staring at.
Those got to get those tough shots. They can be demoralizing, too.
That'll be a timeout from Gotham 5 as they try to keep the momentum on their side of the house.
Has the train gone through? It's been sitting out there for a while. Has the train gone through yet?
Is the train currently sitting right there?
Yeah,
I think
went to that right there.
I've seen the rumbling and the tumbling of the subway system here in Hell's Kitchen.
I don't have good feeling in my feet, so I can't feel it rumbling.
We're going to step aside, back for the third quarter, 1:25 to play. Gotham 5 on top by 3. Welcome back to a defensive battle, battling for first place in the Atlantic Division, the top 3 seed in the conference. Of course, you're tuning in here on SimWorld TV on YouTube. Please don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on. Not only is this the home of SimWorld Hoops action, but it's also home to our growing SimWorld podcast network, whether that be the Around the Table pod with Bob here and Elava, the voice, every Sunday. The new daily pod, Rick Blazing Takes. Believe there's a new podcast in the works. SimWorld Today is beg your pardon, not even a podcast, a show. So branching out into the visual universe and not just the audio. Talk Dirty to Me. What am I? The Marsh Pod, but I'm not selfless. Am I missing any, Bob?
I don't think so. I mean, did you get Rich Blazing Takes in there?
I did. Now daily.
All right.
Daily Blazing Takes. So you can cook your lunch, your breakfast, depending on what time zone you're in, your dinner maybe, all with Rich Blazing Takes. It's just that hot. So don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, turn the notifications on. It's Aaron Lovejoy. He's got now 8.6 rebounds. As him, Mugen Williams 6.7 rebounds have been feasting inside. Yet it's really been the story of this game for Beasts of the East has been 1 turnovers. They've had 8 of them. And is Levin Cutler on or off the floor? As that layup will fall. Levin Cutler plus 9 in, I think it's around 20 minutes that he's on this game. Meanwhile, Beasts of the East though just getting run off the floor when he is not on.
Yeah, I think Beasts of the East need to figure something out defensively, because on that last possession we seen Kasim Porter, 6'3", all 6'3" of them, taking on Lovejoy down low. I don't think that's how it was drawn up.
Not quite, as the third quarter ends on a bucket. Kasim Porter gets it to go. 45-40. Gotham 5. They've been running to the rim when Cutler's hasn't been there to defend it. Gotham 5, 8 minutes to take first place in the division. Coming up after this. We're back in New York, fourth quarter just about to be underway. Gotham 5 on top, 45-40. First place on the line in the division. Currently half game back is Gotham 5 at 14-7, trying to chase down Beasts of the East 16-8. And quickly going to work as Aaron Lovejoy pushes the lead up to 7. As Gotham trying to take advantage here again. Still no Levin Cutler on the floor. No JoJo Kearney, as they have kind of been very efficient. Beasts of the East has when their two big men have been out there. Kearney out there alone right now.
Yeah, instead of having 6'3" Kasim Porter on Lovejoy on that play, we had 6'4" Fareed Red.
You mentioned there's size for Beasts of the East when Kearney and Cutler are out there, but not so much when they're not. Everybody else is 6'4" and below.
Yeah, and if they don't get Cutler out there soon, and I mean a minute ago, 2 quarters ago, they're not gonna be able to come back from this. He's the heart and soul.
Marion Goodyear can't get that to go, and especially against a Gotham 5 team that, as a lineup as that one is, Goodyear burying it. Gotham 5 has Mackenzie Mbako 6'9", Lovejoy 6'11", Mugen Williams 6'11", Hakeem Matthews when he's out there 6'8", Keontae Dior 6'5". So they have a massive front court, and there it is again. Aaron Lovejoy just going to work on Fareed Redmond with a 7-inch advantage.
Yeah, and the scary thing, though, in general, and we're talking about Gotham 5, is just when that starting 5 isn't there. I just think that their backup 5 probably start on half of the Simworld Hoops teams.
Well, it's a backup 5 that hasn't really played a lot. They have 4 players that have appeared in 10 or less games, and only 5 players that have appeared in all 24 that they've played. And then you've got Isaiah James, who's appeared in 21. Meanwhile, you look at Gotham 5, you've got 8 players that have appeared in all 21 games. As a step back goes, and that pushes the lead to 10. Tank Matthews has appeared in 19 of 21, and the only guy that hasn't is Dior Bates. He's been on the roster this whole time. But that's timeout. Beasts of the East down by 10. We're going to step aside real quick. 5.5 to play in the fourth quarter. 10-point lead, Gotham 5. Back, timeout called here from Beasts of the East. We got 3 games tonight. Triple header here on Simworld TV, and sandwiched between each of them, between our second game Beyond the Arch, ATLiens, and our third game, Bay Area Breakers, the Originators, is the post-up. And I believe we'll be graced with, is it Maestro on the post-up, and Rick Blaze? No, Rick Blaze only. Rick Blaze on the post-up, so some audacious takes are inbound, so you do not want to turn off Simworld TV for that excitement.
Not at all. Can you spell audacious?
A-U-D-A-C-I-O-U-S. I'm get IT.
Very good.
Is that correct? Everyone got it?
I'm going to go with yeah. I'm going to go. It sounded perfect.
Rebound here.
I'm not going to spell check it.
pull up from Mackenzie Mbaka. He's got 12, but he's not been efficient. 4 of 12 now in this game. But an efficient night from Aaron Lovejoy as him and Levin Cutler have been going to work. Cutler has 10 points on 5 of 9. Aaron Lovejoy 14 on 7 of 9, and that's 3. Redmond can't get the deep 2 to go. And now down 10, 4:45 to play, Bob. It is getting down to must-make time and getting some stops for Beasts of the East.
Absolutely, and I think they really need to. What I didn't like from the Beasts of the East on their last possession was that Cutler was nowhere near the basket. He was nowhere near the basket. They need him down there. There was an easy offensive rebound that he could have had, but he was busy up at the point for some reason.
7-point game after the 3-pointer for Beasts of the East. Kicking it up top. Trying to find some room as Matthews up and under won't fall. Rebound though to Williams. That's blocked by Cutler. Offensive board and put back. Two-handed slam. Mugen Williams. Dominant inside. 2 points for him. He's closing in on double figures on the night.
I'm gonna give MVP on that particular play to Majere Williams though for coming up with the rebound. So over the big guys.
Defensive foul. That'll send Fareed Redmond to the line. 3:40 to play. Gotham 5 trying to hang on. They've built a 10-point lead, the largest lead of the game. Beasts of these, largest lead of the game for Gotham 5. Beasts of these led early in this one by 14, 18-6 at the end of the first, led 22-8 in the second quarter. Before Gotham 5's defense arrived in full force, as this has been a matchup of 2 of the most elite defenses in SimWorld Hoops, and unsurprisingly, no one has yet to eclipse 60 points in this one with 3:39 to play. Redmond at the line trying to get this to a 7-point ball game.
Yeah, I mean, technically it's only a 3-possession game. Technically,
You have to hit threes for that to be possible, and we have not seen that.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is who is going to be the guy that brings this game in reach for Beasts of the East, because I don't think they're using Cutler, or Cutler is not putting himself in position to make this game closer, and I think he's going to be the key. Obviously, he is going to be the key. He's always going to be the key for the Beast coming out with a win.
Well, Cuddy Hugs and Kisses can't get that one to go, and he has really struggled tonight. Has not been playing well, and as you mentioned, Levin Cutler out above the rim, or above the 3-point line for much of that possession.
I think, I think we should point out too, if you've seen on that last possession, all 5 of Gotham 5 was underneath the basket, and nobody from Beasts of the East was there.
Cuddy does not take the original screen. He does this time as he tries to drive, and he gets 2 to go the tough way against Mugen Williams. Suddenly a 5-point game with another 3 to play. Timeout Gotham 5. A big opportunity here as Beasts of the East, their defense has kept them in it just as Gotham 5's helped them rally back. Bob, do you expect anything to change in the last 2 minutes and change?
You know, it's going to have to change, and if it's going to change, it's going to start with Beasts of the East defense not allowing the Lovejoy and Mbako being guarded by the smallest guys on the court. They're giving up way too many easy buckets down low because of the size advantage that Gotham 5 has most of the time. I don't think that's going to be an issue really moving forward, since we are going to probably have Cutler and Kearney on the court for the rest of the fourth. But I don't know. It might be a little too late, in my opinion.
Well, Cutler has been a massive positive in the plus-minus in this game. He was +9. I imagine he's probably up to +11 or +13 in this game. In a game they're down by 5. And you mentioned he's going to be, or he should be, on the floor the rest of the way. So the opportunity is certainly there. Gotham 5 will not have easy runs to the rim like they did when he was on the bench. And joined by JoJo Kearney allows them to be at not quite as big as the Lovejoy-Williams front court, but certainly aggressively right with him.
Absolutely. Do you think JoJo Kearney dresses up like JoJo Siwa for Halloween?
You know, that's a good question.
I'd like to see it.
It'd be difficult to find an outfit, I would imagine, to fit somebody who's 6'9", 213 pounds, or who's listed at. As Mackenzie Mbako with a huge three. That's the only buckets he has made tonight. He's now 5 of 11 from deep, but 5 of 13 overall. But he's got 15 points. And that is a huge one to push this lead back to 8. And he gets now called for a blocking foul. And a timeout by Beast of the East with 2:11 to play. We'll step aside briefly, come back for the close of this one in New York City.
SimWorld presents Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
What's up, everybody? This is Big Bob.
And this is Elava.
And we are the co-hosts of Around the Table with Ian the Fat Man.
Around the Table is the SimWorld Hoops podcast where Big Bob and I give our takes on various sports around the world.
Make sure to tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time to hear our takes.
And don't forget to join in on the conversation with us on Discord at discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
And make sure to follow us on Twitter and YouTube at SimWorld4K. And as always,
see the game, be the game. Later, folks.
We're back 2:11 left in the fourth quarter. Big three on the previous possession for Gotham 5 from Mackenzie Mbako has pushed this one to an 8-point game. Defensive showcase in the works. First place in the division on the line. Huddy, hugs and kisses though, pulls up deep. Can't get that to go. And that'll be a board by Lojo. Go ahead, Bob.
I was just going to say, I was not expecting, after their 4-game losing streak earlier this season, I mean, you never want to, I never think, especially when Coach Velarde's your coach at the time, a 4-game losing streak, I expect them to turn it around. But I didn't expect Gotham 5 to be in the battle for number 1 in their division, honestly. I just felt like that it was a little too far gone for them to be the number 1 seed. Figured, yeah, they'd probably make it into the race to 1 as like a 7 or 8. But I didn't think they'd be a top 3 team in the conference based on them winning a division potentially.
Well, Cuddy hugs and kisses cuts it to 8, but a bucket here for Gotham 5 probably seals their 7th straight win. One of 3 teams coming into tonight with 6 straight. But they have been dominant defensively in the second half. Mackenzie Mbako just hit his first non-3. He'll take a deep 2, won't get it to fall there. Still a chance, 8-point game, 1 minute to play. Gotham 5 trying to hold off. Fareed Redmond matched up with Aaron Lovejoy. Had a sliver of a run before the switch from Mugen Williams. Now he's turned away by Williams.
You could telepath. What's the word I want to use? You could
Telepathy.
Telegraph. That's what we're looking for. Thank you to the powers that be for that. You could telegraph that poor drive by Redmond.
Deep 3. Cuddy hugs and kisses, can't get it to go, and that should do it. Gotham 5 is going to hang on for a win. It'll be their 7th straight. They're going to move to 15-7. Beast of the East are going to fall to 16-8. So technically a half-game lead for Gotham 5, though 1 extra game to be played by them. The bucket there gets us to 6, but that is purely cosmetic at this point. They'll move into 3rd place in the conference, not only because they're a division leader, but also because they would have the better record than Beasts of the East by way of that. Again, they've played 3 games fewer, but will be a positive as they're both trying to chase down Rocky Mountain. They'll actually come into a tie with Rocky Mountain. Gotham 5 will, and let's just do a real quick check on this. I believe Gotham 5 beat Rocky Mountain 73-45, so not only will Gotham 5 move into 3rd by the head-to-head advantage over Rocky Mountain, they will actually move into 2nd place in the conference with this win. Gotham 5 now, 7 straight wins, has brought them from the bottom of the barrel from when Tim Bilardi was fired to now 2nd place in the conference and an outside shot at chasing down the Originators.
Yeah, and it's again just kind of mind blowing to me. I wasn't expecting that. I just wasn't expecting this from Gotham 5. Before the season started, I expected them to be a number 1 seed. After the season started, I expected them to be in the lower half of the 8 seeds that we have. But yeah, I mean, it's just, especially coming, but this is a huge win against the Beast of the East squad that's just been so dominant. I'm sorry, yeah, jeez, that has been so dominant. I think we're going to go ahead and chalk this up to the new guy, Vic, threw in a little, he threw a curse on Beast of the East with his positive article today.
Well, so long as the curse is on somebody else and not the supposed kiss of death on my end, I'm not going to complain. Gotham 5, 63-55. Stay tuned. Post up coming up next. As always, first off, thank you for Bob for joining us. Coming back after this. See the game. Be the game.
Cause of my bling bling, or cause of my sheen, see it really don't matter, cause all the latest scream. I know your style, know you very well. The way you shake it, mama, I can tell. Cause in the club, girl, it never fails. They be wanting yells, so I say hell yeah. We can head to my hotel, and I can put you under my spell. I have you reaching for the rails. I won't kiss and tell, cause I rock your bells.
Welcome back to the Post Up, man. It's draft night in the NBA. It's big time triple header night in SimWorld Hoops, and it's getting hot in. It's hot in here. Why? Because the Blazer, as Maestro called it. Rick Blaze is in the building. Rick, how you feeling, man?
Yes, sir. It's getting hot in here. I'm glad you didn't ask somebody to take off their clothes.
Nah, I wasn't going to go
you
that
and
far.
and that's going to be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know better. Because I know you might do it, too. Unless you're going to do it.
Indeed. Unless you're going to do it. I'm just playing. Unless you're going to do it.
Man.
One of the greatest lines ever.
Yes, it is.
I use that line all the time.
Shout out to Nelly. Hey, man, Gotham 5. There's been, I mean, they're a straight up enigma, right? One day they're this, one day they're that. They underperform with Bilardi. They look like stars at one point. Coach Bilardi is gone. We should really stop bringing them up because now they have a new interim coach at the helm. The inmates running the asylum. They go on a 7-game win streak. They have 4-game losing streaks. Good Lord. Rick, you have a lot of poignant thoughts about G5, but here recently,
I do.
You know, they haven't been heard. Now's your big chance, man. They pull out this win, and then, honestly, before we even get to your thoughts on G5, what do you take away from this game? Because it was a big-time game in that division.
It's weird to me. It's really weird. Coach Drayton pumps up his big man, Levin Color, all the time. Anytime anybody says anything about a big person, anytime anybody says anything about a player that needs recognition, he's going to go in the chat and pumps up his man, Levin Color. However, in the game in the fourth quarter, when you need buckets, you don't go to your guy. You've been pumping up Levin Color. I'm not understanding. Help me understand something. Is he the guy or is he not the guy? Because today he didn't look like the guy.
Well, he looked like a guy, and in moments he absolutely
Not
looked like
the guy.
he should be the guy. But it looked like maybe coach saw something we didn't see, because in the biggest moments,
It was it looked like it was too much hugs and kisses tonight.
his cutting show. 14.
There was a lot of hugs and kisses going on, which is fine. But Cutler had 10 points, 12 rebounds on 5 of 9 shooting. Hugs and kisses had 14 points on 5 of 15 shooting. He tried to shoot you out the game. If the big man's gonna be your guy, get the big man involved. Let him eat, my brother. He got a double-double, and he was not touching the peel in the fourth quarter. You got to give him the orange, my man.
Show also 0 for 7 from deep. Levin Cutler responsible for 20 points, as he also had those 4 assists. Now back to my original question on G5, who pulled out the victory. Mbako not going just start crazy like some of these other guys are, but another night he struggled early and then he got it going. He led the team in scoring. You got Majer out there getting it done on different nights. Aaron Lovejoy just looking like a dog. At some point he's going to get let loose in his career in college or NBA, and it's going to be scary. Maybe he puts on 10 to 20 pounds and look out. Oh boy, right? But G5, man, what are you making of this team? Do you have a solidified thought? And Matt, you got to have one, Rick. What is it?
I don't. I know you want to pin me down. I'm sorry. My expectations for this G5 team left out the window when their coach left stage left. Apparently he left to go to Mexico. So
We all may be doing that soon.
But right. I'll be there in a few weeks. So Lloyd, I'm gonna hit you up. But what I will say is that's a testament to the type of talent that this team has. That everything surrounding what's going on with them this season, they still can come out and get big wins against beasts of the East. They can still come out and play hard. Now, they lose to teams they probably shouldn't lose to, but they have the talent where they can hang with anybody on any given night. I think the pressure is off of them, so I think this works in Gotham's favor. I think they come out, in my opinion, and play loose every single night with nothing to lose, because I don't think, at least from my perspective, there's any pressure for them to win, especially win big. So anything they playing with house money every night. You ever seen a man gambling with somebody else's money? Oh, he's a damn fool.
Yeah, talking, he bumping, he got everything. He the loudest dude in the
everything
casino,
rolling.
Right?
That's G5. They walking in, doing the George Jefferson walk. They got no worries. They're Kuna Matata. They rolling it all on the 7, and they letting it ride every night. So, hey, they a scary team just from that perspective.
Yeah, well, hey, they got it done tonight. 7 straight wins for this squad. Looking scary. BC East not looking terrible. There was some questionable moves there within the game, and there was some spots where some teams were struggling. Philadelphia taking on South America. Those scores should be coming in here. Let me ask you this, Rick, before we move on to our next subject here. South America struggling since, we know your love affair with Coach Bilardi. I'm sorry, I'm talking Latin America here, my bad. Latin America, he's there now. They're obviously, let me get a look at these standings real quick, or the race to 1 outlook. Latin America at 8-15, number 8 is at 8-12. Mathematically, they're not out of it. But some teams have to lose, and that's the point everyone's made. Latin America, Coach Bilardi, are they setting up for next season? Are they building confidence, or do they have a legitimate chance in your eyes?
They set up for next. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. I love Bilardi, but they playing for next season, baby. This is a long game. He's playing a long game. He's trying to see probably what he has this season and letting those guys figure out what positions, for those who be returning, what positions best suit, and what kind of scheme he wants to run, right? So he has to decide at the end of the season, hey, do I go into next season and get guys to fit the scheme that I have currently, or do I tailor my scheme around the guys that I'm going to get in my fold? So it's a lot of moving parts he's trying to work out and figure out, and while figuring out where these guys may fit for him on next season, and still in his mind start recruiting who he needs to bring into fold. So one thing they need, they lack size in the front court, so they're going to have to address that. And they also lack bona fide shooting, consistent shooting. So they're going to have to address those things for sure. So I'm sure Bilardi got a game plan for sure.
Okay. All right.
But they playing for next season.
They playing for next season. All right. Well, we got a couple other games getting ready to come up. I'm not going to get your take on the 3 in the key. Lone Star Basketball lost 4 straight. 4 straight after being the team. Look. Everybody in the league has said, yeah, that's the squad. That's the team to beat. We can feel how you want about the OGs, the Gothams of the world, but they showed offense, they showed defense, they showed clutch shot making. They've lost 4 in a row. Are you concerned?
A little bit. You don't want to go into it. See, it's almost playoff time. You don't want to go into the playoff time losing games like on a bad streak, especially in the division that they're in. They're in a dog division. You changed it. What's the name of the conference? The Legends? Just call it the dog conference. It's just all dogs out there, man. Team are just dogs out there, bro.
You getting your PJ
Even the
Tucker
HC,
on.
like APAC, it's HC or they 7 HC. I haven't looked at the latest standings, but even as them as the HC has beat number 1 seeds, dogs out there. Just a dog pound conference. I'm renaming the conference to the dog pound conference. The Legend Conference, no more. Dog pound conference, all dogs out there. And Lone Star, you don't want to you don't want to be the limp dog walking into the playoffs. Because they're going to big dog you on that time, bro. Y'all got to get it together. And y'all got H-Town coming to town. Lone Star versus H-Town coming up soon. I'm calling that game. It's going to be a dog-eat-dog world, baby. That's all I got to say.
All right, well, you heard it from Rick Blaze himself. It's time to get in the paint, man. Post up. But let's get it done before they call the 3 in the key. Rick, we got Beyond the Arc. It's a good time for a post-up, too. Big Tyson Simpson going to be hosting the ATLiens, who do not have a whole lot of size. They have to figure out how to battle against one of the biggest of the bigs in all of SimWorld hoops. What are the 3 things that you're looking for in this matchup?
Barbecue chicken. That's what I'm looking for in that matchup. Tyson Simpson is going to have him a plate. You hear me? I'm talking about ribs, sausage, macaroni and cheese, potato salad, green beans, and some sweet potato pie to wash it all down. It's going to be crazy, I'm telling you. That's what I'm looking for in this matchup. I love ATLiens.
Before you go into him, so you're saying he's essentially old boy from Predator. I'm going to have me some fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Exactamundo.
All right, so Tyson Simpson.
Easy double-double.
Well, he averages probably like 20. He averages a double.
He averages, well, I think he's like 9 rebounds, but he's pretty close enough. Yeah. So he averages like 18 and 9 on the season. So he can be 25 and 10, 25 and 12, against ATLiens. I love the grit the ATLiens show.
Mm-hmm.
They're really tough to beat at home. So I love their grit.
So they're not at home in this one, though. Does that change anything?
Right. BTA is fighting for a playoff spot too. So what happens is when teams are anybody, when you're in fight or flight mode, you're gonna go to what you know. And BTA knows Tyson Simpson. Right now with ATLiens, if you're in fight or flight, who do you go to? We don't really know. Mahmoud had his moments early on. It was a little booth. You got people that just steps in from time to time. But in fight or flight mode, who are you going to if you're ATLiens?
You missing all kinds of punt. You missing all kinds of punt opportunities. Who do you run to? This ATL we talking. Escape in the house. Shout out Escape.
You're right. Shout out.
Y'all ladies should be looking a lot better than y'all do with all that money, though. I'm gonna throw that out there too. So you got 2 keys. That's 2 keys, Rick. Did I miss the third one?
I don't know.
All right, look, man. Before we get out of here, we gotta get a little crazy on this third topic here. Since we're talking ATL, more popular in ATL. Magic City, Outkast, or Gucci Mane?
More popular?
In ATL. This is in ATL.
Magic City.
Magic City is more popular than Outkast and Gucci?
If you want to find Outkast and Gucci where they're hanging out at, guess where they at? Magic City. When you go holler at Gucci and them, they at Magic City. They getting the wings and everything. You know what? Come on, man. Magic City, baby.
All right, fair enough.
Everybody may not know who Outkast is, but everybody knows who Magic City is.
All right, before I'll go ahead and give my take. I'm going to say, yeah, it definitely is Magic City. But if you in East Atlanta, everyone knows the East Atlanta Santa. They know what it's all about. But Rick, For you
Yeah, they used to
personally.
Atlanta.
Hey, I didn't name him. I didn't name him. Rick. So for you personally, Rick, more popular. For you personally, Magic City, the cast, or Gucci?
I'm a Cass guy. I fool with Cass heavy. Matter of fact, I heard rumors Andre 3000 coming out with a new album. That's gonna be crazy.
Wait,
if
I'm
that's
talking
true.
about you say Andre?
But I do.
Just Andre?
Yeah, solo joint. New solo
Andre
joint.
Benjamin, to be exact? Oh,
Yes,
don't play
that
with
guy.
me. Oh, this
Yes,
is good info.
that guy.
This is good info.
Andre Lauren Benjamin. Lauren is his middle name.
Yeah, I want y'all to know
he's
that
coming out with a solo album.
the day that drops,
out
there'll be
soon.
no SimWorld broadcast. just saying.
We will be. It will be unavailable. It will be pre-recorded from last week's.
Right, because we're gonna
so,
be
yeah,
listening
so-
to it live from Magic City.
Exactly. We're gonna be broadcasting live from Magic City when the album drops. Please believe all wings is on me while supplies last.
Yeah. All right, Rick. So
But I do like Gucci when I'm in the hood. I do like Gucci though. In the hood, when I'm riding in the hood, when I'm around my people in the hood, that Gucci Gucci just hit different when you in the hood. When you know what I'm saying, when you walk in and the floors are sticky and stuff at the store, you know what I'm saying, the bums asking for change and you get your slush and everything. It just hit different. The Gucci hit different in the hood. That's all I got to
hey,
say.
you right about that. I'll just give my opinion. Yes, I'm a Cass guy too. I personally think Gucci Mane is one of the worst rappers I've ever heard in my life. But a few drinks in, Gucci is the greatest music I've ever heard, and you can't tell me that. You can't tell me I'm not Gucci when I've had the right drinks in. So, yeah.
On better than that, if you at Magic City, I bet you guarantee Gucci is the best rapper in the world. Cause when them girls away, they be dancing to Gucci. Oh, they make him jam. He sounds really good. He sounds really good in certain settings, for sure.
All right. Well, hey, it's been the Post Up, man. I appreciate you being on, Rick. You're going to have to join a little more before you head out to Mexico, and we're going to get up.
Mexico.
Hey, did you say who you had as the winner, as the victor for this next matchup?
I got BTA.
BTA, that's an easy choice. Before we get out of here, all I got to say is Gucci!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Make a Swish Foundation. We are here in St. Louis, Missouri for Game 2 of our SimWorld TV triple header between Beyond the Arch and the ATLiens. I'm B-Ron alongside Marsh. Marsh, how are you, my friend, first of all?
I am good. How are you doing, B-Ron?
Doing wonderful myself. Always good to be here in the booth with you, and we have a fantastic game on our hands potentially here. Beyond the Arch comes in ninth place, sitting currently in a three-way tie between themselves, SimWorld Atlantis, and Bad Boys for that 8th, 7th spot in the Legacy Conference. While the ATLiens are holding on to that 8th spot, 10 and 12 on the season, but tough test for them between going up against Tyson Simpson and his team. We'll see how that goes. What's the plan for Beyond the Arch and ATLiens in this game tonight, Marsh, for you?
Well, it's going to start and stop with Tyson Simpson for BTA. He's been inarguably the best player for that team and a complete turnaround. He has helped fuel that for Coach Kusa and Beyond the Arch. I mean, it continues to be a one-man show in St. Louis, but Simpson, you could argue, is a better one-man show than Gory Tate was a year ago with his 19 and 10. For ATLiens, I mean, we're in that must-win for everybody range, but they've got to find a way to get DeMario Duval some help. You know, we saw this squad, I think it was last night, or excuse me, 2 nights ago. They just don't have a ton of depth behind Duval. Somebody's got to step up behind him to support that.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out some ways to get him some help. And we talked about Simpson earlier, and looking to see how he fares against D'Angelo Muto for the ATLiens, because he is a good defender. The question is, can he defend Tyson Simpson? And we haven't seen that to success yet, as Jorge takes second. 3 can't get that one to go, but that's going to be a good matchup to watch. I also want to see how Isaiah Rose works at him as well if they get a chance to square up, because Rose is a good rebounder, but again, you have to be in position to make those opportunities happen for yourselves.
Yeah, you know, ATLiens kind of feels like a team that's pretty well built from we are going to have a lot of great role players perspective. And that's not to discredit the skill level, but they just don't have a ton of superstars, you know, that some of these other legitimate contenders do. They have good players. Duval's a good player. You know, he's an inefficient scorer, but he's still talented. They just don't have anybody else that can kind of rise to that level as a foul called on Simpson.
Yeah, foul called Tyson Simpson. So that's D'Angelo Muto going to the line to complete the N1 play here. And I think that's going to be something to look out for, too, in this game, how they attack Tyson Simpson, because if they can get him into foul trouble early in the game, get him go out for a little bit, that might lead to some more chance for you to go inside and score inside as well.
Yeah, well, there's just, you know, it's tough to score inside when Tyson Simpson is defending, so.
Right, exactly. No, you're right. You're absolutely right there. I agree with you 100%. We know how good of a defender Simpson is, too. He averages may as well say a double-double on the season, but he can also get it done on the defensive side as well. He's not just a scorer and a rebounder. He can do it all, really.
Yeah, it's 3.2 blocks. Let's see here. That is 3rd behind Ogauskas and Derek Long. So, you know, you're going to get great performance from Tyson Simpson no matter what the situation is around him. I mean, it happened last season for Toronto. You know, he got going, and the supporting cast just really wasn't elite.
Okay, there's a great block there coming down the arc. Now trying to score in transition. Can't get the 3-pointer to go. Those are things that are going to have to happen, I think, a lot more down the arc. They're going to have to get those stops quickly and score in transition effectively to kind of keep this scrappy ATLiens team off their back, because they can be a little annoying when you let them hang around in games like this.
And this is what Tyson Simpson does so well. Look at that. I mean, the block on the edge, but he's just locking up DeMario Duval. Duval tries to take him off the dribble and just has no opportunity to do so because Simpson is a great switch defender.
Yeah, and that is so key to have a big guy like that on your team that can defend at the perimeter or around, in and around the perimeter, I guess what I will say. Deep three goes at the buzzer on the shot clock. What a shot.
Sean Blazing, maybe one of the better names in SimWorld Hoops.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially this season, we've had a lot of great names over the past 2 seasons here in SimWorld, and there's another one added to the list there.
Certainly better than Cuddy hugs and kisses.
Oh! Now Tyson going alley-oops out here. Okay, that's Christian Kelly.
I love Christian Kelly's
down.
game.
Me too.
I really do. He's such a great athlete. He reminds me a lot of an Aaron Gordon type. You know, super athletic, very vertical threat. He's not going to be I don't think he's ever going to be a take him off the dribble and run with it type of guy, but he's a 3 there. But he just does so many things really well. I like the future of Christian Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly certainly has a bright future, and I think that Daniel Horry does as well if he can continue to make those kinds of shots at a decent clip. He might he keeps shooting like that, he's gonna end up at Duke at some point.
He's gonna end up at Duke just because he's white.
There's a joke, thank you, Marsh. There's a joke in there and you got it, thank you, I appreciate that.
So every white dude is bound for Duke, huh? That's what it is.
Man. That's it, I do this shoot.
I mean, he's made 47 threes. He's hit them at 58 or 56%. So, yeah, that's.
So he's going to Duke. Got it.
Previously coached. Who's Duke's head coach now?
I am currently blanking on his name, but we'll see if we can get that for you at some point.
That's what they need in rural North Carolina. John Shayer's the head coach for anybody playing TV. Oh, there he is again.
There's another 3 ball from Daniel Horry, and look at that, a 20-9 beyond the arch lead thanks to the Duke-bound Daniel Horry. My goodness.
And to the untrained eye, I think you would see the name, you'd see the stats, and you'd be like, this is Robert, or this is the nephew, or the cousin, or the son, or the grandson of Robert Horry. Just, okay, big 3-point shooter, good size, 6'4", 200, he's 15 years old. And then you see him and you say, oh, that's most certainly not a blood relative.
No. Won't take long to figure that one out. But there's another rebound there from Christian Kelly, cleaning up the glass and now going the other way with it. It's beyond the arch. They've looked really good here in the quarter so far.
They have. I mean, 22 points. They've been dynamic, and it hasn't really been like a huge Tyson Simpson takeover game, which is great. I mean, we've seen a good quarter from Daniel Horry. Christian Kelly, up until that point, has been pretty good. They've gotten a lead without having to go to the 5th best player in SimWorld Hoops. And you know what? To that point, it's a real shame that Tyson Simpson has not yet been paired with a great point guard, or like a great wing guy.
Right.
Because
he could really
if
shine.
I think there would be a much bigger conversation for, is Tyson Simpson a top 5 player? Is he a top 5? Is he the number 1 player?
Ooh.
Because he is dynamic, but he's on teams that are so mediocre, that we never get to take him seriously. He's averaging 19.4, 9.8, 3.2 blocks, and he shoots 68%. I mean, you'd love to see him add a deep game and a little bit of playmaking, but he's still dominant even without it. He just doesn't play on good teams.
Oh my goodness! What a dunk there from D'Angelo Muto, trying to get some of the momentum back on their side. It's now 22-15, but Marsh, you're absolutely right. I think that Tyson has proven to be extremely dynamic over the course of the last 2 seasons here, and we're seeing it here again, and this one getting active, going up to catch the ball with one hand, and to finish it with the layup. The soft touch there on the layup, too.
Listen, that's the thing, is Tyson Simpson is not just we are
power
going
big.
to power
That makes
big.
sense.
Exactly. It's not just he's got some finesse game to it. You just like to see a little bit of a player.
Maybe a little bit more of that, but we're seeing a good start here from Beyond the Arch at home. 24-17. They lead over the ATLiens. Second quarter action coming right up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or
Still to be happy about.
you're up 2-0?
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Welcome back, everyone. Second quarter action getting ready to begin. 24-17. Beyond the Arch is out in front. They looked really good in the first quarter, Marsh, on both sides of the ball. But the ATLiens they're hanging in there. They're not out of this one yet.
No, they're not. I mean, we saw this in the last game, right? Gotham 5 was down by 12 at the end of the first and down by as many as 14 in the second. They end up winning by, was it? It might have been double figures. If not, it was in that ballpark range. So, yeah, this is very much a game. But my concern, if I'm ATLiens, is you're staring down a 7-point deficit, and Tyson Simpson has not gotten rolling.
Right, yeah, that's the biggest concern for me as well, with Daniel Ori leading the way for them with 11 points for them. So, that is surprising to not see Tyson be more involved. But to be fair, he hasn't really needed to be involved as much in the first quarter. I hope that will change here in the second, as that one from Simpson falls. Great shot from him, using his height and fading away to get the shot rebound.
Again, that's the finesse game that Simpson possesses. That nobody really. You see, 7 foot 240. I mean, he's a massive kid, and you think, okay, this guy is going to make some physical plays, and then he just comes out and just
he does that.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, and I think for me, that's one thing that's always surprised me about Simpson. is that, because when I first saw him, I'm thinking the same thing. Here's this big kid, you expect him to be a power guy, and now he can be, but that's not all that he is. And that's what makes him special. And like you said, if you pair him with a wing or a point guard, that definitely would elevate his game to another level. He is the 3rd ranked player in Sim World Hoops right now this season, but could be more if he had a better supporting caster on him, or a secondary player to be a duo with him. A more athletic Nick Bowie, if you will.
Yeah, and the deep 2, I think that is there. The challenge, and I think this is true at all levels, in the way the game is played now, it's very difficult to be dominant with a big, as a team, because late in games it's just so hard to run action that is just right down the middle, in the paint, and let's give it to a big man and let him cook. But at the same time, like Shaq and Kobe type of vibes, if you got Tyson Simpson with a Bronny James, I mean, forget about it. That would be an incredible pairing, or a Tyson Simpson with Lace Darius Outlaw.
Yeah, right.
That type of pairing would be incredible because of Outlaw's downhill ability mixed with Tyson's vertical threat and the defensive acumen that he possesses would just be second to none.
Absolutely agree with you there, man. Those two together, like Darius and Tyson Simpson, man, that'll get a lot of people drooling, I'm sure. And there's a lob, throwing it down, reverse style, Tyson Simpson.
I'm curious how big Tyson Simpson's going to get. He's 7 foot at 17 years old. It's NBA draft night. Victor Wembanyama goes first, and he's 18 or 19. He's 7'4".
It was Victor Wembanyama night, Mark, to be fair. We knew it was going to happen. It was Wembanyama night. We knew it was going to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was no surprise, but I'm saying to Tyson Simpson, like, how tall is he going to get? And then the other concern is he could be massive. Obviously, health concerns in the long run, but at this point in his career, it's just not going to be there. But that's what I'm curious about. Are we going to get like a 7'3" Tyson Simpson? And if so, I mean, like moves like that are just going to be unguardable.
Yeah, how much taller can you get already listed at 7 feet? At 17 years old. How much taller are you going to get? That's crazy. It could be 3 inches, it could be 5. You just don't know.
Or it could be none. I mean,
it could be none.
You could stop at 7'3".
It'll be fun to see how that whole thing plays out with his growth and development over the years. Great pass inside. That's a tough pass to get it into that spot. For Simpson to catch it and go up with it immediately. That's a great pass. Wow.
It is, and it's just why it's unguardable. I mean, it's why he's unguardable.
But they're going to take a timeout. The ATLiens try to stop the bleeding here a little bit. 35-26 lead for them. We're going to take a quick break. Come right back to the second quarter action here at Make a Switch Foundation. Welcome back, everyone. Second quarter, 3:37 left 35-26. Beyond the Arch out in front, and this one at home put on the show for their fans. Speaking of putting on the show, we're putting one on here for you tonight on YouTube on the live stream. And while you're here watching the live stream, give it a like, chat in the stream, and be sure to subscribe and follow along, all that good stuff. You're already here, man. You may as well do it, right?
Might as well. What a great reason for somebody to do something. You might as well.
You might as well, man. You're already here. I'm sure you're enjoying what we are producing for you so far, man. It's been a great night of basketball so far, and this game is bringing more of the great action we have here for you in Simmer Hoops, especially because we're getting so close to the race to one time here.
Yeah, we're getting close, and this is the part of the season. The middle of the season is a tough watch in all sports, because it's just like these games, they matter, but they matter so occasionally little. Now, these types of things matter.
Don't do it, young man. That's what happens when you do. You get blocked by Tyson Simpson. And there is a foul on D'Angelo Muto. So, free throws coming up here. But yes, Mars, go ahead.
To finish that, it's like, Beyond the Arch is 11-11. A win, and they get to 12-11. And they get into a one-game over 500 tie with reigning Trays for 6th. And they're currently in 9th. So that's why it matters for them. And then on the other side, ATLiens, they're 10-12. A loss, and they fall to a statistical tie with the Yacht Club, and a win, and they get to a tie for Asia Pacific. So the variance that you can go up and down based off a single game just because of how competitive it is. I mean, all the way to 14 in the Legacy Conference, and then I would say maybe down, it's not quite as competitive, maybe down to 11, maybe 12 in the Legend Conference. It just makes it entertaining to watch when games matter as much as they do right now.
Absolutely, and speaking of the race to one, and some of these teams that aren't in it yet, but very well could be, as another block from Beyond the Arch. Which one of these teams, March, that's let's say below 10? Anything below 10 in each conference do you think has a chance to get in?
Well, I'm going to get off on a technicality here because technically they're below 10, but as I've said from the beginning, Asia Pacific, Indy Stripes, they had a huge win earlier, yesterday against, I think it was Lone Star, right? Lone Star now 4 straight losses. I think there's a serious question mark about how good are they, but
I think so.
Indy Stripes, when they are on, are phenomenal. Benari James is awesome, I think, on a better team. Look, I'm apparently putting everybody in the top 5 conversation. Benari James is a top 5 scorer in the league. He's an incredible player. They've got a lot of options. They just haven't been able to do it consistently. They're a team I would really be terrified of. The Simpsons powers that one home if I had to play them in the first round.
Yeah, and the thing with Indy is I like them a lot, but because they're so inconsistent, for me it's hard to put a lot of faith in that team. I will say that I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to stick with Cascadia as a team that could get in, even though they're 10th right now. They're tied with Europe and Indy. I think that team could get in, but they have to string some wins together, and they need help as well.
Yeah, and I mean, all of these teams do, right? Like from reigning Trays down to Philadelphia, I mean, that's 6-14, literally a top 8, or at least an entire conference worth of playoff teams that could make it in those last 3 spots. And depending on how Run DMV, they've lost 2 in a row. Like, there's a legitimate chance that they fall back into that fray to get the final couple spots. You just, every single night, something could happen that changes the outlook of the entire season. All of this happening right now could just be changed in an instant.
Yeah, absolutely. And Beyond the Arch, 9 games left. ATLiens, they also have 9 games left. A lot of these teams have 9 or less games left. But if you have 10, so there's time, but there's not a lot of it. And you the time is now to get hot And let's take Lone Star, for example. It's a bad time for them, in my opinion, to get cold. They've lost 4 in a row now. That's not good. That's for a team that was so dominant to begin the season, as that one took us for a loop there, hung around, but eventually fell in. But yes, the Lone Star, they were dominant all season, and now to the point where you need to win games, and they're not doing it. That's a concern for me.
Yeah, I would be very concerned if I'm a team that, and I'm a big Jace Miguez fan since the beginning. I like their backcourt a lot, but they have not looked good, and they've fallen out from competing for a top seed to now they're just going to have to try to claw their way back into maybe a top 4, but even that doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, because at one point they were top 3 in the conference. And now, because they're losing streak, they've fallen all the way down to 6th. If you would have told me months ago when this team was on fire that they'd end up being the 6th seed at this point in the season, I'd tell you were crazy.
And you know what? I know we got 30 seconds, but riddle me this. Why is H-Town Hoopers in the Tropic Division and Lone Star Basketball is in Savannah, yet they're in the same exact state? I would love to know the answer to that.
That's weird to me, too. I agree. But, hey. We don't make those decisions. We're just here to follow the rules, I guess.
We got 6 teams in the Tropic Division. You're telling me you couldn't move the H-Town Hoopers and make 6 teams in the Savannah Division? That's all I'm saying.
It's just asking questions, man. But you know what? Beyond the Arch, they are answering a lot of questions right now for us here in the first half. As we head to the locker room with them in the lead, we've seen a good game so far from both these teams, March, and I think, again, the ATLiens are hanging in there, but I don't know how much longer they'll be able to.
We kind of said this in the opener after the first quarter. They were hanging in there, but yet Tyson Simpson hadn't got going. And if Tyson Simpson starts to get going, I think this is, and he kind of did in the second, and that's why they got a bit of a lead there. This entire sequence changes, and there's just no real answer by anyone for Tyson Simpson, but especially not the ATLiens tonight.
Daniel Roy has been doing his part as well to help out him, show him some love. But Simpson leading the way, 16 points, 4 rebounds. We'll see what happens in the second half. Come right back to make the Switch Foundation. Second half, getting ready to begin here, folks. 46-34. Beyond the Arch is in the lead. It's been Tyson Simpson and Daniel Horry leading the way for Beyond the Arch. 16 for Tyson, 14 for Daniel Horry. He's been doing his part to help out Tyson in this game, and matter of how much he can continue to do that as the second half begins, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you got Ori started 11 points, I think, early on. When there is a second guy going for BTA, this team is really great because of the talent level of Tyson Simpson. But again, it just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's when there's nothing else going on, it is a difficult way to get things going. But Ori is
there he goes again. Absolutely, yeah. If they have someone else going, like you said, Marsh, and that does great for them. And there's a block from Simpson. They've had multiple kids helping out this season. We've seen likes of Nick Bowie, David Duffy do it. Now tonight it's Horry. So we've seen multiple people do it and help out and pitch in. But it's when they don't that's a problem. But tonight, not a concern.
Yeah, not a concern because you're getting all sorts of scoring, and then Tyson Simpson is making it so that the other team literally cannot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really, the game's really easy when you don't have to worry about defending anybody because Tyson Simpson is sending everything back the other way.
He does a lot of great things. It's the only flaw in Tyson Simpson's game is he just can't stretch the floor.
And Beyond the Arch is going to take a timeout here. It's 51-38. They started off hot here to begin the quarter, and extended their lead even more. It has been a fun game here so far. Let's get a look, though, at Tuesday's games coming up, because we are back on the air on Tuesday as I get my notes up here in front of me.
Can help you out if you need a hand. Run DMV,
yeah.
SimWorld Atlantis, kick it off. Run DMV, mentioned it earlier, 2-game losing streak. That's a big game for them. They need to get that, and then equally, it's a massive game for Atlantis. If Atlantis wins that, they would move to 12-11, and they could knock Run DMV to 13-9. Game and a half back of a 5th seed Atlantis, and then putting Run DMV into must-win territory. That's a massive one from a head-to-head standpoint. Game 2, H-Town versus Lone Star. You would think that'd be a divisional matchup like we went over, but more importantly, Lone Star trying not to lose a 5th straight game. I mean, at some point, I think you have to start wondering, if they get to 5, do you start saying, look, this isn't a championship team. This isn't, if they can't string it together. And then Showtime against this Beyond the Arch team. Showtime has been really great. They've won 6 in a row. They're one of 3 teams to be at that, or now one of 2 teams because of the win for Gotham 5. But a really big slate of matchups, and I think I mentioned it on the first game with Bob, now, or maybe it was earlier with you. Now's the time when all of these are big, so it gets really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got so much good action here over the next coming weeks and months, really, as we wind down the season here at Simmer Hoops. And if you're a fan of any of these teams, if you're a player in these teams, if you're a player, make sure you continue to give your all. If you're a fan, root for your team as hard as you possibly can, because they're going to need all the help they can get.
They really do. Everyone needs help from everyone. That's kind of the challenge.
Yeah,
here.
right. And that's the crazy thing too, looking at it, because you would, at this point in the season, you would think that you have your clear standouts, and then there's everyone else. But it seems like we don't have that. It's really, like you said, everyone needs help from everyone. That's beautiful, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful, but it's also frustrating. And like you'll see these guys, you'll hear somebody. I'm not picking on them, but they were very vocal at the beginning of the season. Someone like Indie Strikes, right? And they'll be like, we got faith that we can get there. We believe we can get into it. It's like, yeah, I believe you could get there too. You're only a game back of Bad Boys. The problem is that Europe has to lose. Cascadia has to lose. Beyond the Arch, they're probably going to win, barring something unforeseen here. They have to lose. Bad Boys or Atlanta. Like, there's just so many other teams and results that have to go your way. Similarly with Philadelphia, who has been good as of late. They're 9-12 right now, but they started so poorly at the beginning of the year. They have so much. It just makes the challenge of getting in, especially in a 30-game season and not a 40, 50-game season like you get at higher levels.
Right.
You can't afford those early slumps, or Lone Star example, you can't afford those late slumps. I mean, look, Run DMV, if they started a little bit better, then they could withstand a 2-game losing streak right now. It's not the end of the world. Instead, because they had that below 500 start, you say, well, now they really got to get a win against Atlanta, so otherwise things start getting dicey. Now that they're playing catch-up against Beast of the East and Gotham 5.
And then
in their own division, nonetheless.
Right, exactly. And then you look at a team like, say, SimWorld South America, for example. They started off really hot. They were, 7-0 or something crazy like that? 5-0. Sorry, 5-0. Look, really hot. And now they're not even we're not even talking about them being in contention at this point because they just fell off a cliff.
Well, they fell off a cliff, and I said this on the post-up with Yells last week. Nobody's talking about that. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're an international team, but since starting 5-0, they are 2-15.
That's why I brought it up, Mark, because I knew if I didn't say something about it tonight, I was going, it wasn't come up. So.
Nobody says it. I think there was one article written by, I think, the late great now, James Canton, who asked the question, but nobody's talking about this. They won 2 games since starting 5-0. We were like, hey, Patricio Ramirez, the international savior, look out for South America. And it's crickets, man. I mean, it is crickets, and nobody is talking about how atrocious they've been.
Honestly, it really is a shame that they just couldn't get it together, and they haven't since, really. And now it's too late, in my opinion, for them. But they spoiler, yeah, but they don't have a shot right now.
At this point, you're trying to play spoiler against, I know they're playing Philadelphia tonight, and we'll get a final on that one shortly. But that's it. I mean, those are the teams that you would be getting you're spoiling somebody's fringe playoff chances. That's what it's been reduced to. I know that's something, but at the end of the day, is that really that great? No.
Right, yeah. Is that what you really want to be playing for, to play spoiler to someone else, someone, like you said, fringe hopes, getting it into the race to 1? No. You want to be playing to get into the race to 1. And, they're not doing it, unfortunately. But Beyond the Arch and ATLiens both are. And as we said earlier at the outset of this one, big game for both of these teams. Actually kind of slowed down here in the third quarter a little bit, but is a bucket on the ATLiens from Jackson Glenn. 59-46. Beyond the Arch still on top in this one. 2:15 to go in the third quarter, and there's a block, out of bounds. Same with Beyond the Arch.
We're not going to try to run from it. NBA draft is tonight. Taylor Hendricks, UCF. Who would have thought that somebody at a UCF would be a top 10 pick in the NBA draft?
Man, I'll tell you who wouldn't have thought of that one, me. Because when I think UCF, I don't think basketball.
I mean, hey, that's not a Big 12 school, man.
And now, to be fair to myself, I don't follow a lot of college basketball because there's a lot going on there in that regard. Mm-hmm. So that's just me, and I don't really have a lot of skin in the conversation. I believe that if you don't have the knowledge to talk about something, you shouldn't. So I will refrain from the conversation of talking about it.
I mean, I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying it's surprising to see somebody from UCF. You just don't see that very often.
Yeah,
that's all I'm getting at. And I'm with you. College basketball is a little bit like the NHL. It's so tough to watch because it feels a lot of the times like the end result does not matter because it's just about one game, right? You can lose one game in the national tournament, and there goes your 3 months or 4 months of investment of watching that team play.
Right, exactly. And it's funny because I like everything else about college sports, especially the passion and energy in those teams, in those schools. I love all of that. But trying to keep up with it is a whole different beast in my personal opinion.
And plus, it's entertaining when it gets to March.
Right. No, yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see how SimWorld Hoops, how this race to one goes, and what our one shining moment will be, if you will.
We've seen it before, right? I mean, Houston, Seattle, last year. We've seen upsets, man. SimWorld Hoops is going to be no different. It'll be exciting, that's for sure.
Sure will be, as Tyson Simpson is doubled up. He's got away from it.
He doesn't care about a double team.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that is the beauty of Tyson Simpson. He brings a double, but he's so poised in that. And they tried to double, but they just couldn't actually make that double matter against him.
I think they poked the ball loose, but it didn't matter.
Did they? Because it didn't seem like it. It kind of just seemed like he just kept moving with it.
You might be right. There's that late quarter shot falls as the third quarter comes to a close. It is 61-50. Beyond the Arches in the lead by 11. We'll see if they can close out here in the final quarter. Come right back to the Make a Switch Foundation Center, and we'll find out.
And to make it two-possession game, and they will!
Definitely gonna have to look elsewhere. Oh! Welcome back, everyone. Put those fours up because it is fourth quarter time. It is an 11-point Beyond the Arch lead here for them. We'll see how the ATLiens, if for that matter, they can get things under control in this one. But they have a tall task in front of them to do it because Beyond the Arch have been doing a lot of things well tonight, March.
They have. I mean, and a lot of it is two guys. It's Daniel Ori and it's Tyson Simpson. Ori's hitting from deep, and Tyson Simpson's doing basically everything else from, being able to rebound, block, score inside. I mean, he's literally done everything. So, a really impressive game right now. But that being said, 9-point game, 7:24 play. This is by no means decided.
No, by no means is this one over at all. And the crazy thing, I think, too, for me, for this one, as there is a ferocious dunk from Tyson Simpson, giving him more points, get it back to an 11-point lead for Beyond the Arch, is that they, before the last two shots, they had 18 assists, and they've made 26 shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible, I think that's a great way to understand how a team operates, how a team plays, and the discipline of a team is if their ratio of field goals to assists is, you're never going to go 1-to-1, right? But if you can go pretty close, that's a great indicator of a team that's unselfish, that's understanding of and trusting in one another, and capable of allowing things to come together as they should, rather than just one guy sitting and ISOing on everything.
Right, exactly. And sometimes, you would see that from a lot of teams in the league. One guy doing everything, and he needs a supporting cast around him. 2, 3 guys even in some cases. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, basketball's a team game. Because you have 1 or 2 guys that are really good, it doesn't matter if the other guys around them aren't able, I should say, to help out in their own ways as well.
It's always about trusting in the guys that you got around you and putting one another in situations to be successful.
Exactly. And for Beyond the Arch in this one, they have done a lot of that tonight for each other on the team. Again, didn't expect to see Daniel Laurie help out Tyson Simpson as much as he has tonight. I was expecting to see Nick Bowie. Whenever I see Beyond the Arch play, Nick Bowie doing a lot of the work to help out Tyson, but tonight it's Ori, so that is good, knowing you have multiple guys who can get going, and if all of them can get going in one night or at the right time, great floater there, getting that one to fall. But if you see a lot of that happen at one time, that's scary getting down the stretch here.
Yeah, this is a BTA team that, it's my complaint with Best Coast Ballers is that outside of Lake Darius Outlaw, they have no scores averaging more than 10 points. It's a similar concern with the ATLiens outside of DeMario Duval. They have no players averaging more than 10 points. And it's the same case with BTA. Outside of Tyson Simpson, they have no players averaging 10 or more points. Now, Daniel Laurie is a surprise miss inside. He's got 9. Nick Bowie's 8.1. Christian Kelly's 7.3. They've got guys that can get it done. But when one of those guys really starts getting going, that's when they become so hard to stop. And the same is true of ATLiens, by the way. If Mahmoud, if Isaiah Rose, if Richard Alpine are cooking, along with a good Duval game, they become really hard to beat. It's just you're not getting that on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. At any level, it's consistency, but even more so at this level as Simpson gets a rebound and a putback to go. This is where a lot of those good habits and patterns begin, and or bad habits begin in some cases too. But there's a great defensive stop from Beyond the Arch again. That's Christian Kelly on the block, I believe. Took that one away.
Now I got a question for you.
Sure.
We're going to omit. No, I'm not going to omit anything actually. If you had to guess, what is the lowest number of rebounds that Tyson Simpson has had in a single game?
The lowest number?
The lowest number.
That's tough, man. I'm going to go no lower than 7.
7. So I almost omitted it. I didn't. If you had done with that, you still would have been wrong. 5 against the Originators, 6 against Philadelphia, and then somehow 2 and 4 points against Rocky Mountain on the second night of the season. Kind of when people were wondering if he was actually what he is, and since then, obviously, he's been phenomenal. Okay, I've got another question for you. How many consecutive games has Tyson Simpson averaged or had at least one block?
At least one block? How many games?
One block.
How many consecutive games?
Yes, how many consecutive games? They've played 22.
22. All of them.
Shockingly, no. 20 straight games with at least one block. He did not get a block in the first 2 games. Since then, he has had only 1 game where he has not had multiple blocks.
Wow, I was so close, man. I was just going off the cuff. I wasn't even looking at nothing.
No, these are just random. Yeah. I'm looking at Tyson Simpson and continue to be amazed by him.
I love it. I love it, man. There's another 3 ball from Daniel Laurie, continuing to shoot the lights out tonight. If they can get this kind of production from him consistently, we might have found their second option, Marsh. But they have to get it from him consistently. I think that's what his 8th 3 tonight.
he's been drumming up, man. I mean, and he's been really good as of late. Now, he had 8 against Queen City Kings. He shot 3 of 9 in that game.
Yeah, they won that game, by the way.
They did win, you are correct. He's had, let me just do some quick counting. 1, 2.
Yeah.
He's had 8 of his last 9 games, or he had 8 straight until that Queen City Kings game, in which he had double-figure scoring. So I was just talking. He's not averaging. He would be if you didn't have a 0 against Beast of the East on April 10th, and every game before that, except for 1, was single digits, and then he did have the North 3 points and 2 against Europe. But he's had 11 of his last, as I say, 8, so there's 9, 10, 11, or 8, excuse me. Yeah, 11 of his last 16 games, he scored in double figures.
Man. And this is the perfect time for things to happen. There goes Ori again. He hits again. He knew it was good as soon as he let it go.
What did we? How many 3-pointers did we say he had?
We said he had 8.
So if he gets to
9,
9, if that's his 9th, that is going to be technically 4th behind Kadarius Loftus with 12, Trey Turner and Jay Laster with 10 apiece. So the 4th most in terms of the number of players is how you do the rankings there, but the 3rd most point wise, or total number wise in SimWorld this season.
Yeah, he's lighting it up tonight, and he's been a huge part of their success tonight. Between him and Tyson Simpson both, man, they have put the team on their backs and carried the load for them. Here in this one, we got the final 35 seconds. We'll say taken away here. Head away from Rose, not good. Nope. Thought it might fall for a second, but nope. It's been that kind of night for the ATLiens, though. And then kind of season for them too, though. I think things just haven't bounced their way.
Yeah, I mean, it's the story of a 500 team, and Beyond the Arc is the same way. And in ATLiens' case, 2 games under 500. You just have more games where it just didn't go their way, and this is one of them.
Yep. There's a late dunk from Mario Duval, but that is going to put a nice little bow on this one for Beyond the Arches. They win 81-64, and they get over 500 now to 12-11 on the season. And the ATLiens, well, they are going down to 10-13. Post up coming up after this one, then it'll be over to the Bay Area Breakers and the Originators. We'll see you then. See the game be the game, and we'll see you in Game 3.
We're in here. I got a new face in here with me today. Rick was in here earlier, and now we're back on the post-up, and now I have the Maestro, the well-lived Maestro is in the building. Maestro, how you doing?
Outstanding, fam. How about yourself?
Hey, man, you know what the answer's always gonna be, man. I'm good. I'm good. And I am. We had a matchup earlier today. We had Gotham 5 hosting Beasts of the East, and they just put a little beat down on them, a quick little beat down. And now we just wrapped up another one where we got to see Tyson Simpson do his thing. Tyson Simpson going off for 22 points, a meager 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 blocks. But the story of this game was all about Daniel Ori, in my opinion. 7 big threes. It really seemed like he had 9, 10, 11, 15 threes, you know. But 7 for 11.
For sure.
Batman to Tyson Simpson's Robin. Man, what do you take away from this game? I always ask the same question when it comes to this. Did you see more from Beyond the Arc, or did you see some miscues by the ATLiens?
A lot of miscues by the ATLiens. They felt like they scuffled tonight to me, and I hate to say it, I've seen them a few times where I've kind of seen this game, and then I've seen them where they're like, oh my goodness, if they bring that every night, they're never gonna lose. Well, tonight one of those nights of like, oh, don't bring that back here no more. With a team with that much talent, with that much ability, with what they can bring to the table in terms of how they're able to potentially score the basketball, because it didn't happen tonight. It's just, it always seems as though whatever identity they start to get, they get taken out of it. And I'm just going to put that on them not being able to kind of hold their own with whatever the strategy might be. It's like they start off and then they give up. And I don't know what to say about that, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah, they're a really scrappy team. They play really hard. I think that is their identity. I think we see that routinely. But I'll say I didn't see it today. I did not see it today. Right. We go out here, we take a look at these stats. They gave up 59%. I know it's hard to guard us. You know, I know these are kids. I'm going to call him a grown-ass man. Tyson Simpson is a grown-ass man. Yeah. 59%, though, is what ATLiens gave up percentage-wise. They're never ones to go out there and get it done offensively. They got out-assisted. They got out-rebounded. Well, I take that back. They did not get out-rebounded. They worked them out on the glass. They did hustle. They did hustle it up there. 30, 30, it looks like, 30. They hit them up 32 to 31, but they were on the offensive glass big time. But they just got outworked. It didn't seem like they were really grinding like they normally do.
And oh, by the way, you know what? You know what else I'm just going to put out right here. So you get 13 offensive rebounds, okay? At the very least.
You got to be converted.
13 offensive rebounds. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tell it, brother. That's exactly what I was going to know. You're right on the money. As always it is. It's all good. That should be 13 offensive rebounds should turn into at the very least 15 points.
Man, I'm gonna tell you one of the times I was hooping here, not recently, but at the gym. Non-organized basketball days, but I'm at the gym this particular day, and for whatever reason, I don't know, man, I was just feeling kind of springy, and you'll think I'm making this up, but people were upset with how many offensive rebounds. Just every time the ball went up, I felt where the ball was going. I get up there, I'm on the box out game. It's whatever. If I could out-jump them, I out-jumped them. More times than not, I got position ahead of time, and I mean, if the shot was missed, it was nothing to worry about. Every shot that was missed, I was going to get it. But here's what happened. Later in the game, I got a little tired. I'm not making excuses, and then I think I was just psychologically. I think I had the yips going or something, man. Later in the game, I was grabbing these offensive boards, and I was not going back up to put it up, and I wasn't kicking it out to an open shooter. I was going back up and missing. And it started happening frequently. And it got to the point in the game where every time I grabbed the offensive board, people were upset that I grabbed the offensive board. Oh, damn. Yeah, I'll never forget that day because I remember how effortlessly I was grabbing boards, but not to finish them. And that's costly.
Isn't that a horrible feeling, though, when you miss not one, not two, but three, but four right underneath the basket? Like, you start feeling like, sheesh, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, good game going on there. Looks like we just wrapped up another one here. We're getting the final score. Lone Star Basketball Club, losers of 4 in a row. They host Lakeshore Drive, and the streak ends. They put a 24-point beating on Lakeshore Drive, keeping them to a season low 41 points.
Wow.
Hey, I think this is let me get some quick stats here, Maestro. Let me make sure I'm on the money when I say this. Yep. Lone Star Basketball Club previously held the lowest scoring game in SimWorld Hoops, along with South Africa this season at 41 points. Redemption is theirs. Streak ends as they hold Lakeshore Drive to 41 points. Jace McGuire's 25 points. Derek Long, only 6 points, but 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. Let me ask you this. They bounced back today, but do you have any concern with the fact that they were clearly the top team in SimWorld Hoops in a lot of people's eyes, if not top 3? But they had a stranglehold on the top position for the season, and then they dropped 4 in a row. Does that give you any reason for concern?
100%. 100%. Okay, so here you go. You have to know yourself. And oh, by the way, some of this is on the coaches, but also some of this is on the leadership on the bench. Okay. You know, we all did the relay race in gym back in school, right? Where half the class on one side and you run blah, blah, blah. So you knew what kind of runner you were. You knew, okay, I don't have a lot of speed, but I'm going to start off, I'm going to maintain to keep my win. And when I get halfway, I'm going to open it up and blow it out on the last half. Some people will say, okay, I'm going to blow it out at the start, but then that slow second half ends up hurting the team, right? You have to know who you are. Not everybody can make it around the track at full speed, and you need to know where you are. So if you come out hard but finish weak, yes, because you just can't turn it around like that all the time. And you got to be concerned when you see that happen, because guess what? Everyone else is shaping up, not shaping down.
Hey, I will say this. I was talking to someone earlier today, and it's good to see them bounce back. But yeah, those losses, I would say I'm not as concerned with the losses as they had, or that losing streak. Not as concerned as everyone else is with the losing streak. I was concerned with the way I saw them losing. Like, it was rough. The games were ugly. They looked like they had, you know, it looked like watching Like Mike with Bow Wow when he lost his powers in the middle of the game. He couldn't play ball no more until he figured out he was the man again. But yeah, they clearly lost like all confidence. Jace McGuire's did not look like Jace McGuire's. Inefficient. Nene Gibson, where the hell are you? But yeah, they haven't looked so great.
Walmart wall. I'm telling you, walking to Walmart, there he is. Last thing, it's you know, when you have that much talent, that, and I'm not going to say underperforming, because it seems like it's on each individual player. For them anyway, it's about the team. And like you say, when they lose ugly, you know, and it's like they're not in sync. Just like what we talked about with the ATLiens, right? Mm-hmm. You see them play, some nights it's like, wow. Other nights it's like, wow. You know, what was it going to be, right?
Well, hey, they lost today. They won today, and they got it done. Shout out to Lone Star.
Well done, them.
And we got a big game coming up in just a moment. I mean, it's pretty big, man. We got a Bay Area Breakers hosting the Originators. This is big time. We got Trey Hyman, Caden Shipp, Royce Anderson, Sean Hyman, John Hyman, Chris. There's so many cats on this Bay Area Breakers squad that could go somewhere else and be a number one. It's unbelievable. And they're riding. Let me get my info correct. They are riding a 3-game win streak. Won 4 of their last 5, looking pretty good, and looking like they found their groove here. And they're taking on the Originators, who, let's face it, 5 straight. 5 straight. The 5 games that they've lost, I think those are anomalous to me, just because they're such a complete team. DJ Wagner, Trey Hyman, and company. What are the three things that you're looking for in this matchup?
This is probably the easiest three in the key we can slam all year long. Each team needs to stay in their lane and play their game. It's gonna be look, this is the rumble in the jungle. This is the thriller in Manila. This is all of that. You have two heavyweights going at it. By the way, back when boxing was real and good, if each team stays in their lane, it's about who gets pulled out first. Who's going to make that? I think this game is going to be more about who's going to make a misstep. Who's going to hold the ball too long, ill-advised pass, not follow up. It's just going to be the slightest, smallest thing that's going to make the difference in this game. Both teams are coached well. Both teams are high-character teams. They're my two favorite teams overall. My two of my favorite coaches overall. A bunch of my favorite players. I mean, I like everybody, but a bunch of my favorite players. I mean, it's just like I got some popcorn in the back. I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna take off my shoes. Yeah, they smell bad. And I'm just going to enjoy this all the way. And I hate to say it, it doesn't even matter to me who wins. I know it's going to be a great game.
Okay. All right. Look, we're just getting this just in, too. Rocky Mountain Monsters, Queen City Kings, all tied up at 73-73, heading into overtime. Man.
Overtime.
All kinds of action going on in Sim World Hoops as everyone's gearing up for the race to one. That's going to be a good one to see how that ends up. Hey, man, we're about 5 to 10 minutes away from tip-off for Bay Area and the OGs. But let me ask you a question, man.
Hit me.
Let's talk about sports. We talk basketball here because we love basketball. But tell me about a sport that you always wanted to play professionally that you did not.
Brother, you teed it up good for me, fam. So I grew up in the great island. I grew up on the great island nation of Mississippi. Mm-hmm. So I didn't learn English until I was around 10 or so, and also you're not allowed to read. Otherwise, they kick you out. But one sport that I fell in love with, and it was going to see. Uncle and aunt were celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. It was in St. Louis, and I looked down on the ice, and I watched these guys on skates and in pads going at each other, and it was just a warm up. Basically it was a skate around, and that's when I fell in love with hockey. So one of my uncles who knew I was the only kid at this particular event, so another uncle brought me down. I got a chance to meet some of the players, and so now I hear some accents that are different. Like I heard Russian accents and Swedish accents. And I'm like, wow, and they talk cool too, right? So then I met this guy by the name of Wayne Gretzky, and I was like, how great he was, how good he was. Met him, and not only did I meet him that time, I went back home and used duct tape to make me a Wayne Gretzky jersey. So imagine being a little brown kid walking around Greenwood, Mississippi with Gretzky on the back, and everybody thought that I was a communist, right?
Boy, so have you lost your mind? Did you hear a lot of that?
oh, look, you said it nice. I don't know what you're doing around here. We don't have any fucking names like that. You sound like you might be from another country, like Alabama or something. I don't know what's going on with you. It was crazy, man. But, I always wanted to be a hockey player. When I moved to New York, I had a chance to try out for a roller hockey team, but I torn my ACL. So I lost my chance even to play that. That is one sport that I absolutely love, and I look at it with longing. How about you, fam?
Well, before we move on, number one, I've always been scared of ice hockey. I have this great fear of anything on ice skates that if I fall down, someone is going to run. Nothing other than someone running over my fingers is going to happen. There's no other option. They're going to get cut clean off, and I won't be able to do some of the freaky things I like to do. Number two, ice hockey, man. Now we all know a little something about Maestro, who seems to be a nice guy. He roots for everyone. Now we know he likes to fight. Maestro likes to fight because that is the only sport where it's legal. In basketball, you can't look at somebody for too long, but in hockey, you can flat out fight for 5 minutes. Just don't pull the jersey over the top of their head or hold the game up too long.
Guilty.
Hey, my sport, if I could have played professionally, could have played on some kind of, I don't know if you call it organized, but just in some capacity. I love tennis, man. I love tennis. Always have loved tennis. I'm not tall enough to be effective, but I was pretty good when I was just, I don't know if you call them pickup matches or whatever, but you go. And I'd always have to borrow somebody's racket when I was young, but I was pretty good, man. And I love the volley. I love the technical. I love the cerebralness of it mixed with the physical will and the physical skill. It's just a great sport, and it's nonstop action. It's nonstop movement. And I mean, I would have absolutely been John McEnroe mixed with Andre Agassi. It would have been some really flashy clothes, and it would have been a lot of curse words you'd hear from the mic. Like I would have lived for that. And I'm not a vocal guy when I do something unless somebody like competing. Competition wise, I'm not gonna talk a lot of trash unless somebody gets me going, and then I'll let you know if I lock you down on defense in basketball. I'm gonna talk if you were talking, but other than that, I'm pretty quiet. But if I played tennis professionally, you were gonna know about every single time that I won a volley, I won anything. I'm gonna say it every time. So tennis would be the one for me, man.
And you know what? With your guns and your brain, you would have been an awesome tennis player. Remind me one day to tell you the story of when I got on the tennis team chasing a girl, and I sucked. But I ended up having to play in a state championship match, and the other guy sucked worse than I did. It was ugly. I'm going to tell you that story one day, fam.
All right, we'll save it for another time. Like me. We'll save it for another time. We got a matchup coming up, man. Alyssa Dodge and her originators heading into Bay Area. To take on Coach Hyman's Bay Area Breakers. Who do you have in this matchup?
Oh, man, this is a hard pull for me. You know what I said earlier? Two of my favorite coaches, two of my favorite teams with a bunch of my favorite players.
Everybody's your favorite.
Everybody's my favorite, but I got a special place for Alyssa Dodge just because she handled her business and she keep her mouth closed like everybody else should do. She could talk trash, and I'd be behind her going, "You tell him."
It's about time. It's about time you say it.
But you know what? I'm gonna say it this way. I gotta go with the Bay Area Breakers. They are on a roll right now. They're finding their footing in a whole lot of different ways, and I think they're going to be able to maintain tonight. I think it's going to be close, but Bay Area Breakers going to pull it out. Who you got, fam?
Yeah, I'm unbiased, man. I'm unbiased. I don't pick a winner. I leave that to y'all, but I will tell you. What I will tell you is the next time, or not the next time, before the end of this season, when you're on post up, you can't avoid questions. Just letting you know what's coming. You will be asked. You will be asked what player or team that you don't love. So you get ready. You don't have to answer that right now, but we're gonna find out.
That's valid. That's valid, brother.
As the great poet said, we gonna see. So, all right, man. Maestro, I appreciate you on the post up once again. Last post up of the night. You guys stay tuned for the next matchup. Keep it locked. We appreciate everyone tuning in to SimWorld Hoops. We appreciate everyone supporting SimWorld Sports as a whole. We appreciate you guys in the server on Discord. That is discord.gg// whatever it is, SimWorld NBA. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, and make sure y'all are getting your votes in on Discord for the SimWorld Prep Saturday Showcase, aka the All-Star Game. For those who are confused about what that is, and get your vote in for who you think should make that team. So appreciate everyone. Stay tuned. We got a matchup coming up for you, and it is certainly sure to be a good one because the late night games on SimWorld TV are always the best ones. So
late night.
Keep it live.
Late night, baby.
We out.
Hey, good evening, SimWorld. Welcome to the last game on the SimWorld TV lineup tonight, and boy, is it a big one. We have two powerhouses, the Bay Area Breakers at home hosting the Originators. Bay Area 16-6. The Originators one game better than that, 17-5. This is a matchup of two of the top teams, one from the Legend Conference, one in the Legacy Conference, both of them with Race to One aspirations. Bay Area led by the Sean and Trey Hyman combo down low, but there's more stars in this game tonight than there are on Orion's belt. We've got DJ Wagner in the house for the Originators, along with Kadarius Loftus, the big man Victorious Ogauskas, and many, many more. And hey, we're not as big stars, but behind the mic, you have my own good self, E. Lovett. I am joined this evening by B-Ron. B-Ron, it's always great to be with you.
Always good to be here with you, E, as well. I'm so excited for this game, man. We could be looking at a potential Race to One championship game preview here.
Well, we are underway, and Caden Ship and Big Area control things. He gets the ball into Hyman. Big Trey Hyman, 12.4 points in the game and 8 rebounds, but he can't get that first shot to go. And there you see Victorious Ogauskas. I mentioned him at the top of the broadcast. 7-footer out of Lithuania who has definitely made a difference and has been coming on strong for Coach Alyssa Dodge's team of late. But there's the main man going to work and getting it done. DJ Wagner opens the books here in the Bay.
Man, that's a difficult shot too in traffic with the big guard, with the big guy in there, and smaller defender also in his way. Didn't matter to DJ.
There's Caden Ship answering. Ship, a SimWorld veteran, starred last year. He is the 13th ranked overall player in the SimWorld rankings. Scores 13 a game for this Bay Area squad. Bay Area has won 3 in a row, but the Originators have been even better, winners of 5 in a row. And there's the other part of the reason why. It's that backcourt of DJ Wagner and Kadarius Loftus, and there Loftus connects on a 3. That is his 71st of the SimWorld season.
Absolutely one of the top shooters in SimWorld this season in terms of just made shots.
And then Trey Hyman, right? You got to look at those two as a cut above the rest, I think.
Trey Turner, yes.
Sorry, Trey Turner. Well, you can understand why Trey Hyman's on my mind. He and Sean going to work down here, but got a big challenge against Ogauskas, forces him to miss that shot. Nice work there by Big Trey.
Ogauskas and Snyder as well. Can't forget about him.
Well, there is a brother-to-brother connection. Trey finds Sean for the easy little flip up and in. Pretty play between the younger and older Hymans.
Yeah, I can't forget about those two at all. Trey won't let forget about him for sure. Being that the best way possible, of course.
Oh boy, well, hot start for Kadarius Loftus. 2 for 2 from behind the arc. 6 points quickly for him. He's averaging 15.8 per game. Bay Area going back to work here, and there is Royce Anderson. He's going to take the jumper and hit it. Nice play from Anderson.
Wow. Just said, you know what? I'm going to do it myself.
Well, why not? The 6'6" wing out of Florida. His first 2 points of the game. Area Breakers within 2. Loftus this time going to try to go inside, and he does. Kadarius Loftus, 8 points in the first 3 minutes.
Man, if both him and Wagner can produce tonight, the area might be in trouble.
Well, the Originator backcourt, the starting backcourt, certainly as good as almost anybody, but look at that. Royce Anderson, just saw him score inside, gets a triple to fall there. Bay Area Breakers cut the lead to 1.
And to be fair to my previous, I don't mean trouble as in it's going to be a blowout. I don't see that. but I mean in terms of having to try to stop both of them.
Yes.
At the same time. That's going to be where the trouble comes in.
Oh, nice stop there from Trey Hyman. Getting it done on defense early on this one. Has the smaller Jared Queenie on him. Has to give it up. Caden Ship now trying to go to work. Oh,
wow.
Took it right to and over DJ Wagner. You know, DJ, mostly as a scorer, also really good passer, leading the Originators in assists, but a good defender as well. Not taken to the cleaners right there.
And that's going to be one to watch. We saw earlier in the week himself and Latarius Outlaw go at it. That was a really good game. And Wagner defensively I think he did a good job on let's say Outlaw at times in that game. So he has a good test here against Caden Ship, one of the elite guards here in Simworld Hoopson. Woo! My goodness.
Actually got Wagner off balance there. Made him lose his center of gravity and foul in the process. Caden Ship chance to complete the three-point play. Ship being recruited by schools including Gonzaga, Oregon, Oregon State, all in the mix for his services.
I think he looked good in those Gonzaga colors, even the Oregon colors, the Ducks.
That's either the Ducks or the Beavers, Oregon State, or the Zags, of course. More than a few players to the pro ranks, and I'm sure he would like to join that list.
If it's me, I'm picking Oregon purely because of the uniform combination potential they have. they have so many great uniform combinations, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Can't argue with the logic.
If you do say otherwise, you're a liar.
Can't argue with the logic there, B. 2-point game, Bay Area up by 2. Ooh, almost threw the ball away there, but Royce Anderson does long arms on that 6'6" frame, able to corral. He's going to try another triple, can't get it to go, but Goku gets another rebound. Ray Hyman has been playing a huge game so far down low. It's 4 or 5 rebounds for him. I think that opens his scoring, but an assist as well to his brother. His all-around game looked really on point.
You can all hear it, and I'm going to get active immediately. He's doing it so far.
Originators tried to find Big Z. Rogauskas inside. Couldn't thread it, and Lewis excellent hoop. Two-hander. 6-point lead now for the Breakers.
They look really good last few possessions, and right now they are giving the OGs a little bit of a fit on the defensive end. The last couple of possessions.
They're playing really good defense. I mean, we all know how talented a scorer DJ Wagner is. And he did get under the bucket there, but couldn't get a clean shot off. Made him miss. Credit to the Breakers defense. 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Couldn't get that shot to go.
Wagner's skying to get that rebound, though.
Ooh. Nice defense from Sean Hyman. Forced Gogauskas to miss there. He says, hey, big brother, watch what I can do. I can do this just like you.
Yeah, forced Gogauskas to spin away from the basket, which would put him in a bad spot to take the shot.
Caden Ship left wide open for 3. That's ill-advised. Even Royce Anderson, the top 2 3-point threats on this team. And Bay Area started a little bit slow. It was 5-2 Originators actually right out the gate, but taken over since then. They can close this quarter out up double digits.
Yeah, they certainly picked it up there towards the latter half of the first quarter. And it's been a rough start for the OGs since then. They got to figure it out, and or else it might get out of hand here quickly.
Look at that. Forced Loftus into a tough shot. Couldn't make it. A 3 from Quinny. He can get that to go. Rogauskas finally finishes the possession off with a dunk, but nothing coming easy for Alyssa Dodge's Originators. Coach Dre Pope and the Breakers stymied them pretty effectively on the offensive end so far.
Yeah, that's going to be key to getting this OG's team out of rhythm. If you can do that, that will set you up for success if you don't let DJ and Kadarius both get going. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to be a good night for you.
DJ Wagner hits the bucket, but before then, I was a 3 from Curtis London. He was a 3-and-D player, London. Showed you the 3 side. He's been working on that D side this game, too. There's Anderson. That's not an easy shot.
Not at all. Not at all. And speaking of Curtis London, I'm very happy to see him getting a lot more playing time these last few games than he has been over the course of the season. And especially as one of those returning players alongside Caden Ship, you want to have those kids be the leaders, especially getting towards verse to 1.
Have that leadership, and in London's case also play tough defense, which really was the intention of Coach Pope tonight, was to have these guys come out and lock down the Originators, and through the first 8 minutes, they did a pretty good job of that. They lead by 10. Still lots of times to go here at the Bay Bridge Athletic Center in San Francisco. Come right back, second quarter, when we return. Second quarter just underway here. The home crowd happy so far. Bay Area led by 19 combined points. Royce Anderson and Caden Shoot from that first quarter. They're up by double digits. Ball trying to catch on. Yeah, there we go. A little alley-oop might get him going.
Oh, man.
It's Kamari Ward. He's a relative newcomer to the Originators. Didn't start the season with the team, but coming off the bench scoring 6.4 points per game. Who with authority right there.
I didn't know we had bunnies like that. My goodness.
Three-point shooting, they were 3 for 4, the Breakers, in the first quarter, but keep it coming there. Oh, Kevin Sullivan's in the game, and tough pass, and he couldn't quite corral. Sullivan, there's another one of those single veterans we've been talking about, Bjorn. He's a 6'7", 245-pound load down low, and another person with experience, Coach Dodge can lean on.
Yeah, there was talk of him in the offseason, potentially about him being the one to replace Donnie Baldwin, who, for those who don't know, Donnie Baldwin came on late last season for the Originators.
Player of the year candidate by the end of it.
Yep, by the end of the year. Player of the year candidate, and he had a really, really good season for them. But, you know, Kevin Sullivan, not that guy, and that's okay.
Well, on this end, let's shine a little light on the newest member of Bay Area. That's Ricky O'Neal, number 11, stepping up there to the line. He's got a chance to complete the three-point play. Was fouled by Kamari Ward, attacking the hoop right there. He gets it, 6'4" wing out of Oakland, California. 11-point lead now for the Breakers.
And real quick.
By the way, hold on. Before you say that, I just want to point out, look at that. Trey Hyman out there at his size just took a charge. Eric Nelson, 5'11". Trey Hyman, 6'10". Well, weighs him by about 100 pounds too, but just so smart. Gets a position, and that was a charge. Good foul.
Yeah.
Foul by the official.
Putting his body on the line. So real quick. The final between Philadelphia and Simworld South America. Simworld South America won that game, 58-50. That for me is a surprise because of how well the Il's been playing. But man, that's a tough loss for them. I think.
I'll say this is Kevin Sullivan controls that jump ball. Sullivan and Hyman got a little bit testy with each other there. But, you know, at the start of the season, I had South America. Personally, I thought that they had a great shot of being one of the best. Ooh, there's another foul. Whistle is starting to get called frequently here. But South America, I thought, was going to be one of the better Simworld Global squads this year. Some really good players. Patricio Ramirez, for sure. Carmelo Vega. But
and they were for the first 5 games.
And they had a winning streak to start, and then I think they lost like 11 in a row or something like that. They had ridiculous losing.
They were 5-0 to begin the year, and I think Marsh earlier and the game we were talking about earlier said they went 2-15 after or something crazy like that.
So they're clearly streaky, but they're also capable of playing well on their day. As is Ronnie Shanahan, 6'3" guard battling down low, and he picks up the bucket. 13-point advantage for the Breakers now.
Yeah, Shanahan, one of those Texas kids who, in my opinion, he probably should have stayed there and played for either Lone Star or H-Town, but decided to come to the Bay Area and play for this team, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but he, in my opinion, could be a starter and a decent to mid-level starter on any team. Maybe even getting into that high tier, quote unquote, starter category.
I agree. We all saw, if you were in SimWorld Discord, if you came and watched discord.gg/SimWorldNBA, saw Ronnie Shanahan star in the preseason tournaments. He clearly has all the ability in the world. It's a testament to how loaded Bay Area Breakers are, that he's a bench player.
Right.
Yeah, most other teams in SimWorld Hoops, he would be a surefire penciling in every night starter. I agree. But hey, he's also really accepted his role here, and this team is a race-to-one contender for a reason, and it's because these guys have gelled. They think they have something special here, and we'll see what happens at the end of the year.
100%, and I think that's another thing to take note of, too. Because he's on the team that he's on, he's had to take the role that he has behind Caden Chip, so on and so forth. So that is great to see, because there are some kids in SimWorld Hoops who think they should be playing more when they're behind other star players.
This is definitely true.
That is not how this works. Unfortunately, you have to accept your role. If you decide to go to that team, accept your role for what it is.
Well, B-Ron, we got a timeout on the court. We want to let everybody know out there, first of all, thank you for being with us on SimWorld TV tonight. We have a couple days off. We are back, however, on Tuesday, a Tuesday triple header. We're going to kick it off with Run DMV and Atlantis. Global versus International Battle. But actually, it's the second game coming up on Tuesday I'm excited about, B-Ron. Battle of Texas. And this year, with all that Texas talent, it means even more, I think. H-Town Hoopers hosting Lone Star. Lone Star's been shaky of late, but that's a rivalry game. Both teams will 100% be up for that. So
yeah, if you don't get up for that one, what are you playing for, right?
And if you are a SimWorld fan and you don't watch that game, you're not really a SimWorld fan. That's just a misnomer.
I can describe it as.
Yeah, those two things just don't compete. You have to watch that game. I'll be watching it. Hopefully you will. Well, back here in this one, Eric Nelson, yet another veteran player, played last year in SimWorld. Coming off the bench here for the Originators, and he got 4 quick points, and the area breaker lead was as high as 13, but it's back down to 9 once again. Bay Area does have the ball. I'm Hardaway back in the game, setting things up. Oh, look at that. Nice pass. Nice finish. Ricky O'Neal.
They've got to find a way to cut off those drives with a hoop like that. Can't allow a lot of those, especially with the interior talent they have with Snyder and Gotham as their combo interior players. Those kids need to get in there and prevent those kinds of shots from going up with any consistency.
Sean Hyman, effectively, Bay Area's big man out on the court right now, and he's got his hands full with Ilgauskas. Ilgauskas took it right to him there. Trey Hyman getting a little bit of a breather. Well-deserved. Ooh, tough shot. Won't go, but second effort gets blocked. Wow. Great play from Tyrone Snyder, 6'8", 230-pounder out of New Jersey.
Really not giving up on the play. His shot went up. He didn't get the rebound the first time, but he didn't give up. Stayed with it, got the block, and he don't know the offensive end being rewarded with the dunk on the rebound.
Look at this from Tyrone Snyder. He's not a statistical beast, just shooting 44% on the year, averaging 4.4 points per game, but almost 7 rebounds. Widely tipped to become a Scarlet Knight, play at Rutgers in his home state next year. Nice sequence on both ends for Tyrone Snyder, rebounding and blocking shots, scoring, and a chance to finish off the three-point play now.
Yeah, a lot of effort exude on the last 2 possessions, both offensively and defensively. Again, not giving up on the play on defense, getting the block, and then coming back down the other way, getting the rebound and the dunk, and fouling, and getting an end on the foul too. Making the free throw. So a lot of good things happen there for Snyder.
Like Gillen Water out there right now. So is Adonis Knight for the Breakers. It's Caden Shipp that has it. He's going to work, driving inside. Can't get the little flipper to go, I'd call that, little runner. Well, game that was 13 points, now down to 6, and now down to 4. It's Kadarius Loftus. Saw him start the game hot from outside. He's been going inside since and getting some results. Leading scorer right now for the Originators.
He can do it both ways, going inside and outside, and that makes him, as well as DJ Wagner, very dangerous.
Well, I mentioned Victorious Ilgauskas being a matchup problem for Sean Hyman. And the Originators have the ball, but as you can see, the converse kind of works too. Hyman just too quick for Ilgauskas. Ilgauskas now double team, goes out of it. Snyder, not much of an outside shooter. Let's see what he tries to do here. He's going to work the little shot in off the backboard, however. 4-point game as we come up to 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Little hook shot, that was beautiful. Beautiful. Back your man down, get into a good position for the hook shot, and went in. Nicely done.
I got, nice pass there, but a nice defense as well. Originators can cut this. They can make this a one-possession game. And I got to say, two observations. I think a lot of this Originator run has come with Trey Hyman on the bench. And the other thing is that I'm impressed they've been able to do this. Ooh, Kadarius Loftus couldn't get that shot to go, but Originators making this run as well without DJ Wagner being a huge force on offense.
Yeah, no, he hasn't had to do a whole lot. Been grabbing rebounds, setting his teammates up, but hasn't been a lot of scoring during this run.
That's a bad shot there from, unfortunately, from Tyrone Snyder. Not really quite in his bag of tricks yet, is that?
Should not be taking those kind of shots.
Hidden Ship makes him pay on the other end, and again, that's a veteran player, Ship. Just
wow.
There's DJ. Hasn't had a lot of moments in the first half, but tends to become a little something extra when he does. Honest Knight gives it up to Ship. Hidden Ship, this half has been one of the best he's probably played, at least in games that I've called of theirs this year's. I've been really impressed with Caden.
Yeah, he's looked really aggressive and confident out there, most importantly. You know, a few of these shots we've seen him take tonight, last season he might have decided to fade away or to take a step back for some of those. He would buy a step back jumper for some of those. He's looking like the player that I thought he was going to be last season. And that's so good for me because I mentioned it before, but I was very hard on Caden Ship last season because he could have been one of the top players for that team last season, but never really took that next step to me, but he had potential, so glad he's living up to it.
Ilgauskas misses the first free throw. 7-foot, 270-pounder out of Vilnius in Lithuania. He's only 16 years old. One of only two 16-year-olds on this Originator squad, Kamari Ward being the other. That's the second one to go. It's a three-point game with 33 seconds left.
A lot of fight from the OGs here in this one, and that's what I expected to see. You know, even if they do get down early, they are able and capable more than of getting back into the game, and good thing we got it because we got a good one here for our nightcap game 8.
Curtis London can't get that three to go. Originators can cut it to one, even tie it. Oh, Loftus. Yeah, he got pretty good position there, but good defense. Caden Ship stood his ground. Wasn't going to make it easy. Good enough. With the shot clock winding out, a long three won't go there. 3-point margin as we head to the half. Really good game. Has lived up to the building so far. Bay Area jumped out to a nice lead, but Originators led largely by Kadarius Loftus, the 24th ranked player overall in SimWorld. One possession game as we go to the break here. B-Run, I mentioned this earlier. DJ Wagner kind of quiet tonight, but seeing a lot out of Loftus, but also Eric Nelson, Kamari Ward, a few other players contributing.
Yeah, and that's what it takes sometimes when your star player isn't having their best night. Other players have to step in and step up, and we've seen that from Loftus and Nelson and Ilgauskas, Snyder, a lot of the other players you mentioned. We've seen them step in and help out their star player.
Meanwhile, for the Breakers, Trey Hyman in the star, scoring, rebounding, blocking shots, getting assists, doing it all. Caden Ship as well, the senior, the veteran, leading the way. 12 points for him, 12 points for Loftus. 16 minutes to play when we return to the Bay. We are back. Second half underway. It's Originator ball. Bay Area lead. Bay Area shooting real cold in that second quarter, too. Impressive they're able to maintain a lead, which they still have after DJ gets a bucket there. But 0 for 6 3-point shooting in that second quarter. Big reason why the 13-point lead has dwindled down to 1. Trey Hyman back in there. Nice pass. Fine chip. Up and in.
Yeah, their 3-point shooting in the second quarter, like I said, over 6, didn't really help at all that they went that cold from deep. But they've got, if they can get hot from there again, they can go on a little run, set the tone here for the quarter. But the OGs are not going to make it easy on them, I don't think, at all. If I know Coach Dodge, she's going to have her kids ready.
Well, Victoria Silgauskas is ready. In the right spot to rebound that, put it back up and in. Over Trey Hyman. Hyman just 2 points, but 6 points, or 6 rebounds and 4 assists. And there he's got 4 now. Make that 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists for Trey Hyman. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put him on triple-double watch. 6-4-6, that's triple-double watch early in the third.
You can do it, yeah. Absolutely.
Not a warning, but it's a watch.
Time left. Right. It's the difference.
Meteorologists know.
Yeah.
Oh, DJ back to work. Little Spinderella move there.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff there from Wagner. Let's see more of that from him. He's going to have to get going here in the second half, too. Loftus definitely did his part in the first half, but combine your powers now, boys.
Ooh. Tried to find, once again, Trey Hyman on a lob. Missed him that time. Originators have it, and they have a chance to regain the lead here for the first time since first opening minutes of this game.
Yeah, they have, like I said, not led in quite a while. Let's hit the lead. Not yet, though.
Mountain way short on that one. Up the other way, come the Breakers. Sean Hyman pulled down that rebound and gets it into Royce Anderson's hands. Anderson had 2 threes to start this game. Hasn't done a lot since then. Ooh, twisting move, but the shot will not fall for Curtis London. Here's DJ Wagner. Oh, quick. Whips it back out to Quinney. Wide open for a 3.
Oh,
didn't get it to go, and the loose ball foul on Snyder is going to send it the other way.
And, Quinney, I'm surprised he didn't make that. He's usually good to make a couple of those in a game.
Yeah.
And that was one of the best looks he's had all game, in my opinion, what I've seen so far.
Quinney, along with Wagner and Loftus, are really the only 3-point threats on this Originator team, but they're all pretty prolific from beyond the arc. Well, there's Anderson getting back into the score sheet. Drives and gets an easy bucket. 3-point lead once again for the Breakers.
Oh, man.
Well, there's a little bit of the future. If you want to look ahead, Coach Dodge, Victoria Silgauskas and that young man right there, Kamari Ward, should be returning to Massachusetts next year. And only 2 of them, but a nice duo to build around. And more importantly, they think the future is now, trying to win this year and trying to win this game. Trey Hyman gets it down low, but gives it up. Shot clock winding out here. Nice clutch bucket from Ronnie Shanahan.
Ronnie Shanahan. You kidding me, young man? What a shot.
Clutch shot right there. 4-point lead.
Man, that was insane. Hand in the face, everything, does not care.
Well, Shanahan's just that skilled. Oh boy, that was a skilled move right there from Jared Quinney. 6'6", 200-pounder out of Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Hyman and Ilgauskas have it out front, but it's back into Shanahan's hands. Oh, nice pass. Once again, Hyman just throws it right out of that low post position. I almost would like to see Hyman be a little bit more patient, try to do something there, because it ends up just being a desperation 3. Anderson can't get that to go, and shot clock violation gives it up to the Originators.
I think the only problem with those kind of passes, when you get them down there, I think at that point you're too deep in the post to do anything, and you have an awkward angle to get a shot off. That may have been
Kadarius Loftus had no such problem. Tie ball game, 46. We're halfway through this third quarter, a little bit more than halfway. I'm Hardaway and Ricky O'Neal are out there. O'Neal can't get that shot to go for the Breakers, though. Once again, another chance for Originators to take a lead. First time since the opening stretches of this game, and can't get it to go. O'Neal pulls down the lead.
They've clawed their way back here to tie the game. Now they have to take advantage and really get the game in their control again. They can do it by taking the lead, but they've had a tough time getting over that hump and getting the lead.
DJ Wagner on the bench right now. So is Trey Hyman. One of the big stars not out there. Ilgauskas. Something wanted to operate against small defenders. Couldn't get anything going there. Rebounded up the other way. Dime Hardaway leads this team in assists. Oh, behind the back finds Shanahan. That was, I wouldn't show up at the score sheet, but that was pretty. Coming back in the game. Ronnie Shanahan, time running out. He's going to take a three again, but Ilgauskas swats this one. Not going to let any chance of last-second heroics from Ronnie this time.
No, not that time. Ilgauskas being matched up, though, on Shanahan. That's not what you want on offense at all.
There's what you want on offense if you're the Originators. You want Kadarius Loftus getting open for threes. He does. Their first lead for the first time since early on in this one. Impressive comeback for the OGs.
Absolutely.
Still anybody's ball game with 2:13 to go in the third quarter. Well, while we got a break in the action here, I want to remind everybody out there, if you're watching this game, you should be part of this game. Join up. Become a player, become a coach. Join us at SimWorld. You can find us at discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. And once you're there, a pretty easy process. You can become a player in this game, like Trey Hyman, like Victorious Ilgauskas, like Ronnie Shanahan having a night tonight. Or you can be a coach, like our very own Alyssa Dodge in charge of the Originators, or Ray Pope, impressive in his first year, running the Bay Area Breakers. But if you want to have a chance to do this, you got to come, you got to join us, you got to let us know. Find us on SimWorld Discord and see the game and be the game.
See the game, be the game. Best place to be for both of those things, man. Get yourself involved in the SimWorld Hoops community, league, fandom, whatever it may be, man. Come and be a part. We'd love to have you here.
We are seeing a pretty good game right now. These two teams. Bay Area had a 13-point lead early on in this one, but OGs brought it back, and it has been tight ever since. And once again, Kamari Ward came into this game just shooting 43%. He's been much more efficient this evening.
Yeah, he absolutely has. And, that efficiency is really going to matter a whole lot. Because he doesn't touch it in the race of one.
Look at that, though. Tied up. Long three from Ryan O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal. It's a different person. Ricky O'Neal. They look very different. They are very different. Kids, go Google Ryan O'Neal. You'll figure it out. High ball game. There's plenty. Can't get it to go, but look at Big Z. Back up and in.
Victorious Ilgauskas.
I love what you see from Ilgauskas on that possession right there. Getting down low on the post and making it happen. And most importantly at this point really is keeping the lead for the OGs at this point. I think now they're going to have to whatever they can to keep the lead, because I think if they let it go again, I don't think they'll get it back a second time.
Hey, let's credit the big Lithuanian Ilgauskas. He hasn't
Get that out of here!
Well, first of all, he gets a block right there, forces a turnover. Blocked Sean Hyman on that shot. But more importantly, I think Ilgauskas has done a great job tonight of just limiting offensively how much they've been able to get out of Trey Hyman. Trey's had a nice game rebounding, playing defense, even passing the ball, but hasn't been anywhere up close to his 12.4 points per game average, at least so far in this one, and you got to give Ilgauskas some credit for that.
Absolutely do. That's the big key. One of the big keys for slowing down the breaker is stopping Trey Hyman from going nowhere.
I think Trey heard me. He didn't like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Trey.
Sierra both bucks and they gave it to me the nod, so you know what to do.
I should actually apologize to the Originators. I picked Trey off, and now he's going to punish them. Oh, is that? Oh. Wagner's going to regret maybe not getting a little bit of legs under that one. I think he got that up with a little bit of time left on the clock, but regardless, bucket doesn't go. We are all locked up here. 8 minutes to decide who's going to win this battle of the Titans out in the Bay Area. Tie game, 8 minutes to go. 53-53. Bay Area led by 13 at one point, but Originators led tonight by Kadarius Loftus. A big charge back, and anybody's game between the #1 overall team in the Legacy Conference and the #2 overall in the Legend. East Coast, West Coast battle. We got all kinds of storylines and angles to play up in this would be, Ron.
Absolutely. And for me, in the fourth quarter now, with where we are, I think it's about time for Wagner to come alive for the OGs. He's got 10 points right now, but he needs to do more. Let's get him the 23, 25 maybe.
Yep.
And we'll see where we're at that point in the game, but he has to get hot in the quarter.
Basketball superstars, and look at Kamari Ward. That was
top 10.
That was a display of athleticism there from young Kamari Ward, just 16 out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Top 10, man. Put it in there. Someone get that clipped immediately and get that in the top 10, please.
Adonis Knight trying to go to work. Can't get anything going inside and gives it up to Ship. He's got 14 to lead the way right now for Bay Area. Make it 16. That was not easy.
No, I'm over here, mouth hanging open. How'd that not get blocked?
I mean, two big, skilled, good defenders were in his way. He didn't care. Caden Ship.
You think one of them would have got like an elbow on it or something, a pinky, something.
Ooh, Kamari Ward couldn't get that outside shot to go. The other way quickly comes Bay Area, and Knight once again. It's a clear out. Anything going, gives it up to Trey Hyman. Ooh. It's an offensive rebound, and look at that. Three-pointer up and good. More damage for Curtis London. He's had some big buckets in moments tonight, only averaging 3.3 a game.
Yeah, he's not had a big role this season, but when he's gotten in the game and had a chance to make a play, normally he's able to come out like that one with a good result.
3-point advantage, Bay Area, and they got the ball here. Oh!
Oh, man.
Gauskas with the block, and he doesn't like that call. Thinks he got
I don't like it either. I thought he got it clean as well. I heard backboard and everything, too. One of those pin blocks where you get it on the backboard. It kind of hangs there for a second.
Well, nonetheless, Adonis Knight at the line. He's a 6'5", 200-pound wing, just 16 years old, from the city of San Francisco, averaging 7.7 points a game. And, we're only 2 minutes in this fourth quarter. Still lots of time. But DJ Wagner, I'm still waiting for him to answer the bell. I mean, if you want to be a basketball superstar, or I guess if you want to be a really great bartender, you got to know when closing time is. You got to get it done. This is a perfect example of when. I mean, this game is still well within reach. This 5-point difference. You need the number 2 overall ranked player in SimWorld to go to work. He hands the ball off here to Ward. It's been Kamari Ward who's been much more aggressive, and he nails the 3.
Great shot, kid.
Maybe Kamari Ward and DJ Wagner had one of those Freaky Friday things happening. They changed bodies.
Maybe, man.
He won't go, and look who gets that rebound. It's Ward, and here he comes. Or Wagner, I mean. Here he comes. Oh! There's DJ. Ties up the game.
There we go, DJ. Need more of that from you for the OGs.
Yep. Tied up once again. Oh, Anderson, nice little flip pass behind his back, but Ship couldn't get it to go. DJ Wagner has it again.
No one in the post there. Not a bad decision. Doesn't work out like that, and luckily it did for them that time.
Ends up in Sean Hyman's hands, who gets it ahead to Adonis Knight, who finishes it.
Snyder almost got a finger on it, but it was enough arc on it to get over.
I don't think Knight knew anything about that. He just knew it was lucky to go in after he saw the arm wave past. There's Kamari Ward again. Shot clock winding down. He picks up a screen, attacks, and throws it down. Where, Coach Dodge, where have you been hiding, Kamari Ward? What is
your frustration, young man?
I am speechless over here now. Wow. Adonis Knight, if that goes, I was about to just throw down the mic and leave.
Right?
Mari has it again. Don't take your eyes off him when he's got the ball, folks. Adonis Knight defending.
2.0, I don't know, man.
Gives it up. Puts it back in the hands of Wagner. He's got Ship on it, but he's just going to have to shoot that, and he won't go.
Great defense there from Ship at the end of the possession. To not allow a good shot there.
Snyder got got a hand on that. Second attempt up, ends up in Ilgauskas' big mitts. We got a 3-headed monster right now, and there is Ward. He nails another.
Hitting again, my goodness.
Kamari Ward, DJ Wagner, Kadarius Loftus trio. Kamari Ward consistently plays at this level. He's going to make a mess of SimWorld, folks. Kamari Ward, again, just shooting 43% on the year, averaging under 7 points a game coming into this one. He has been on fire here in the fourth quarter, and right now, the Originators have a 3-point lead over homestanding Bay Area. Well,
and just jump in real quick. What makes Ward's play even more impressive to me personally is that he came on midway through the season too. He's doing this not even with a full, season under his belt. He's got half a season under his belt. So that to me is even more impressive.
Maybe this is why he's emerging. Maybe we're seeing the growth in his game. He's finding his, getting more confident in his role, and Coach Dodge getting more confident in playing him. Well, we got a break in the action here. We're going to take a quick commercial break too. Come right back. 3:17 go. Not much time yet in what has been a good game. There you see Caden Shipp going to the bench, Curtis London and Donis Knight in the Breakers backcourt coming out of that timeout. They're out there along with the Hymans, Trey and Sean. Royce Anderson also on the floor in white. And Anderson gets the ball, shoots over 2 defenders, but can't get it to go.
Oh, man. Tough shot, though, from Royce, having to bank that like that in that angle.
Oh, DJ Wagner trying to finish over Hyman and gets it to go. Big bucket. Tough bucket.
Big tough bucket. Looked a little nerve-wracking there at the end, but rattled in anyway.
Thought Trey was maybe going to get that. Ooh, chance for a three-point play. Lofton. London. Curtis London couldn't finish it.
Sean Hyman at the line. Yeah.
Sean Hyman set to shoot 2.
Hey, we got there in the end, man. That's all that matters.
I thought I saw number 21. 20. Actually number 20 in the end. Well, that works out in the Breakers' advantage that I'm wrong because Hyman gets that first free throw to go. Good free throw shooter. And you see Caden Shipp re-entering the game now. Only a very quick breather. Bay Area. He and London make up the backcourt. Second free throw is good.
Having him and London in the backcourt at the same time, it's an interesting strategy. But I like it. We'll see where it goes, though.
Well, Coach Dodge wants a timeout. Talk it over with her charges. But right now, the Originators lead by 3 with 2:48 to go in this one. Once again, we're going to take a quick break. Come right back to SimWorld TV. All right, set to inbound here, the Originators, and they get it into Ilgauskas. Oh, takes it out, Quinney. He's been pretty quiet tonight, can't get it to go.
He's really struggled from deep tonight, and we're used to seeing him, like I said, hit a lot more of those shots than he has tonight. But those games are going to happen, unfortunately. Oh my goodness.
Sean couldn't get that first shot to go down, but Trey says, it's okay, little bro, I got you. 1 point game.
That's one of those you look away and go, ugh. That was nasty.
Then he has it again. We listen to one of the few drum beats I can play, the intro to Hot for Teacher by Van Halen. Here comes Wagner. Shot won't go. Nice defense from the Breakers, and here comes Trey Hyman. He's up on double digits now in rebounding. Royce Anderson tries to find Hyman inside, but broken up by the big long arms of Ilgauskas.
This is a very defensive-heavy lineup that Coach J. Pope has on the floor right now. And there's Quinney finally hitting the 3.
Yep, the defense wasn't good enough to lock them all down, and Quinney found an opening, splash to 3. Hadn't done much on offense tonight, but hit one at a big moment right there. And with 1:42 to play, it is a 4-point game. Originators still maintaining their narrow lead. Well, this has been a good one, B. Definitely has been a good matchup. Good way to end the night. It seems like the last game on the SimWorld TV roster, particularly when we go out west like this, it's rarely a bad ball game. We almost always get a good one.
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show the quality of talent that we have across the league, but especially on the West Coast and the East Coast in general, because both of these teams, they are tearing up the league this season. And like I said, this very well could be a race to one championship preview we're looking at right here. Yeah. So this has been a phenomenal game, living up to the billing for sure.
Loads of good players on both these teams. Who's your player of the game tonight? Let's go. I know we don't even know who the winner's going to be, but let's go ahead and put our votes in. Who you got?
For me, for the OGs, I'm torn right now.
It could be from anybody.
Yeah. Well, for the OGs, if they're the winning team, for me, it might have to be Kamari Ward.
Yeah, 16 points off the bench. He's going back to the bench right now. Loftus re-entering, but he has been huge. I would have to consider him. And Trey Hyman not scoring necessarily. I mean, he's got a few points to be sure, but his all-around game really impressed me too. Maybe I'll give it to Trey if the Breakers can pull out a win. Otherwise, I'm with you. It's Kamari Ward if the Originators hold on for victory.
Yeah, off the bench, those 16 points, huge.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, if Wagner had a 30-point night, for example, and Ward had 6 on the bench, I'd give it to Wagner, but that's not the case this time.
Kamari not out there right now. It's Loftus and Wagner. There's Wagner taking the shot, but he can't get it to go. Not the most efficient night, certainly not the most volume scoring night for DJ either. And look at that, once again, the Hyman connection. Trey finds Sean. Little, mind melding going on between the brothers. And look at this, 1 minute, all tied up yet again.
Man, and the OGs once again in a tough game that's coming down to the wire. Been in a few of these this season, and this one here, another good one for them. No surprise for the OGs, I think.
Trey has it, smaller defender on him.
Help it.
2-point lead now for Bay Area, 6:01. The Breakers. Loftus has it. Got O'Neal on him. O'Neal, a good defender.
I said it earlier, if the Breakers get the lead, they might not get it back, but
hold on.
Hey,
hold on.
A second.
DJ saved my life. Look at that. DJ
yes,
sir. Deep. 1 point lead for the Originators and 27.3 seconds to go. Wow.
Maybe eat my words immediately.
The only thing disappointing is that just made it looks like we're going to get an overtime. I don't want this to end.
Man, that's a big shot from DJ. But that's what you expect out of your star player. Even when they're not having the greatest night, offensively, efficiency-wise, when it comes to the big moments, that's when you need them to step up the most. And Wagner did that on that possession.
Losing time. And DJ stood up. That's right. Well, 27.3, so there's a 3-second differential. Bay Area will have to, outside of an offensive rebound or series of offensive rebounds, etc., will give possession back up here. They can't run the clock all the way down, so I think they're just going to run a fairly normal set. We'll go inside to Hyman first, maybe try to kick out for Cliff or Anderson after that, but let's see what Coach Dre Pope has called up. Hyman, inbounder, which is always a dangerous spot for the other team. You got to watch the inbound player for where he ends up. But
yeah, exactly, because Hyman can get the basket quick off an inbound.
Deceptively so for a 240-pounder. That's right. There's Ship. Looks like Ship was looking for Hyman, couldn't find him. And O'Neal, jumper won't go. They got a foul here. Yep. It's the second on Ship, but I think it's just the first.
You get one more.
Yep, so we're going to need one more here before they'll send him to the line. Ideally, you'd like to foul somebody other than DJ Wagner, but you don't have time to try to force the ball out of his hands particularly either.
Unless Ship jumps the inbound pass and gets a breakaway layup.
Well, that would even be better, yes. Well, Hayden did what he could there, but he's just going to send DJ to the line. Fairly automatic. So that's why we actually make him shoot him instead of just counting him. Let's see what he does here. DJ, the future Kentucky Wildcat. He'll play next year with Jamison Johnson, assuming Jamison comes back to college, which he probably won't.
No, I think if anybody, he would be one of those one-and-done players. Oh, and he's at Kentucky too. Like that's just one-and-done you over there, man.
It's a factory there to be sure. Oh, and your swing is up and good. For DJ, look at that little smile after that. Calm, collected. He's been here before. He's not worried.
Still a winnable, tieable game though.
Well, second is good as well. 3-pointer needed, Bay Area. Let's see if they call a timeout here and set anything up. But Royce Anderson, Hayden Ship, your two most lethal 3-point shooters. Let's see if they get one of their hands in there. It's up. Won't go. Ilgauskas with the rebound. Another foul, but just 2.9 left. And if DJ can hit just one of these, this game's over. The Originators are going to improve to 18-5 in the season.
I don't think the Breakers had any more timeouts in their last possession because they didn't use one to get it to court when they're all out.
Well, got a decent look at it. A nice box out from Ilgauskas to get that board and quickly get rid of the ball, too. No point in sending 7-footer to the line when you can get it in DJ Wagner's hands and let him run around and get fouled.
Yeah, no, get it into the best player's hands and let them put the game away.
And I believe he just did that. Second miss, probably purposeful. The heave at the buzzer won't go. 4-point win for the Originators. Impressive. Remember, folks, they were down 13 early on in this one, but really battled back. DJ Wagner sealed at the end, but let's also show a little love for Kamari Ward, mine and B-Ron's player of the game. And we'll also show a little love on everybody out there in the audience. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much for being with us on SimWorld TV tonight. We will be back on Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern. Until then, for my own good self, E. Lava, for my broadcasting partner in crime tonight, B-Ron, for Roniel and everyone behind the scenes at SimWorld, thank you very much. We'll see you again. Remember, this is the only place to see the game, be the game.